I hear when you the work is one, my the work is one. Oh, yeah, I bought what anybody go. My baby, you feel my baby. Ah, what the work is one, I am waiting to the work is one, what the work is one, the go. I'm about to go, but I don't know what you go. I got to know. What they want, they want, that's what desire. One now what they just want. That's what desire. What you did just want. Oh, yes, wow. And then I go. Oh, no. This is a flow. Oh, no. Oh, the way to this one. You will not deserve my praise. You. Oh, my God. The way to this one. We will worship you every day for my Lord. Here we are. This way do.
Good evening. So what a beautiful song there from neighboring to Liberia, from the southeastern side. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. This is the Diaspora Informative News Magazine, and of course, this is Wednesday, meaning it is All Things Considered. All Things Considered going to be in the two segment here this evening. So right here, we want to welcome you. Thank you so much, Prosper Terry. Good to have you here. Nagren. Walker, good to have you. Otello joining us from North Dakota. Stephen, Fanny, Rebecca, Elias, and all of you great people. You are, you are on the official news outlet of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. What is Wednesday, meaning the lead angle on this network. I'm Afonso Zianso, your host and presenter is right here. We're going to mix the flavor here this evening. I want to have our guests. They are standing by back studio very shortly. They're going to be joining us here in the first segment of tonight's conversation. It is all about a big planned event slated right here in neighboring state. Actually, it's the same East Coast. That's New Jersey. We're going to be coming to that. That's the 50th anniversary and inaugural 2-in-1 big bonanza. What a huge one. So get ready. We don't know what we're going to be like, but we are hearing a lot of big names. Will be part of that event. But what is this organization? It's all about how far have they come. Is there a new thing that will be telling us here today, or is the same old thing we have been hearing over and over? Well, I do not intend to be judgmental in my conversation here this evening. So they are here, and we will be having a conversation right here, right now, in the first 1 full hour conversation. And then comes right on top of the hour at 9:05. The analysts will be here to scramble on news making headlines in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia and other news right here in the community. This is the sound that introduces the program, All Things Considered. Thank you so much. Let's see here. I'm Alfonso Zayensot of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. We say welcome. What a beautiful evening here in the East Coast. Time check is 8:04 Eastern Standard Time. I am your host and presenter right here, broadcasting from the ocean state of ULLA. Well, the Liberian Mother Organization, the Unions of Liberian Association, the ULLA, will be observing 50th anniversary to an inaugural what appears to be a carnival in New Jersey area. What organizers and leaders of the team, they are here to tell us precisely what is anticipated, what do they have in store. Are we going to hear different things that we have never heard before, or is the same old rhythm over and over? Well, Emmanuel is here, the Reverend James D. Bernard Buckley, they are all here, and guess other folks. They will be here very shortly. They're going to join me, and we will dive right into it. And right after that, later on this evening, the analyst is going to be here. And there is a true confessions. Fatu, I want you to hold tight, something that you have never heard on this network. You will hear this evening. Good evening. Good to have you here. To our guests, Emmanuel and the Reverend Buckley, if you can turn on your cameras, and let's get the ball rolling. Eric Talut, of course, good evening. Good to have you. Ibrahim, good to have you as well. So let's see here. But in the meantime, while I'm waiting for the guests to come on, why not we take this commercial break, because we do multiple things on this network up here. There's a distinction with us, and then we are not just all about representative, senator. No, we look out in the community, people that are making impact, people that are making the difference, and we tap into them. We also showcase it. That's what we intend. That's what we do, and we will continue to do. Let's take this commercial break, and we'll be back. It's a big playing event right here in my own state, honoring. And what that honoring is all about, let's take a break, and I'll be right back.
Hello everyone, my name is Foye, aka Diamond. I would like to share a little bit about someone incredibly special to me, my mother, Rose Johnson. My mother is the heart and soul of our family. Her love and unwavering support has shaped my siblings and I into the women we are today. She has taught us the value of kindness, resilience, and compassion. On October 26th, we will be gathering to honor and celebrating our mother's incredible journey and all the lives she has touched. We would be delighted if you can join us on this special occasion, which will be hosted at the Portuguese Club in Cranston, Rhode Island. Your presence will mean the world to us. The world to us. And thank you. And God
bless. Okay, there you have it, Madam Rose Johnson, right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. There will be a big celebration. Carnival will be honored here And that will be on the 26th of October to end. LPR, as part of our community engagement, will be right there to bring those live and colorful images right here. That's what we do, and that's what we told you. But you don't listen to people. You're listening to the liberal wing on this network. You don't like the good folks, people who are independent. They are independent, real independent voices. They are here. Mohammed, if you can turn your camera on, so that would be great for us to get this conversation going. Mr. Barclay, that's Reverend Barclay. Okay, good. The Reverend is here. Let me just bring in. I have no time to waste. And Mohammed, if you can turn your camera as well, we can have this conversation quite a long while. The Reverend James D. Barclay. When are you retiring, my young man? How long you gotta go in this thing here? Good evening. So welcome on LPR. Good to have you here again.
Thank you. It's our pleasure to be here as well. And we, as long as there are human beings to lay happy hands to, we will not give up. We'll continue to serve the community. Thank you very much.
I was deceived. They told me so. Reverend is about to retire. Like retire from community engagement? Are you guys sure, or somebody is not telling me the rightful information? But when I tell you a big plan event, which of course, when it comes to that, you are always in the vanguard. So they were on the wrong side of history. I was very apprehensive when they told me about that. But yeah, we are. I'm not sure you're going to retire. Do you have plan to retire right now?
Well, okay. Currently, I'm going my second term as elected councilman in my city, and I'm planning to move to county commissionership, which is the way forward to go to another level. So, by the way, let me just give you my background. My education is in leadership, community leadership. So I'm not doing this by experiment. I'm doing it by profession.
Okay, experiment, professions. I love that. Okay, we have in the house the vice president. This house seems to be kind of like, I got to be very careful here tonight because the wing of this network, they are waiting to see whether I'm going to kick the can down the road, but that's not going to happen. So I believe we met here. Emmanuel Balazet Nambe is our own LPR contributor here and is the vice president. Let me bring in Mr. Keita as well. Wow, it's going to be a tough night here. Lady first and Her Excellency, the VP, soon to be inaugurated. When you're getting the offer, when people start calling you out of the secret service, you can get people change again. That's the only thing. I get excited about you position because we can get it out of it. Okay, guys, good evening. Good to have you here to welcome on LPR. If this is the first time, we are wholeheartedly. This is what we do, engage in community to both local, national, to make it fair and balanced. You are at liberty if we ask questions that you feel uncomfortable to plead the fifth. It's all what Donald Trump did, right? You want and answer the question, he just throw it in a kind of way. But Reverend Barclay knows that. Look, on a serious note, we are glad to have you here. Thank you so much. Introduction is not one of my favorite. You tend to leave out good pieces of information, and that is unfair. So let's start, guys. What I say later before gentlemen, right? Can we have the consensus? Let we have the queen in the house to introduce herself and by virtue of a position. Okay, let's go to Mrs. Nambit, the vice president of ULLA. Good evening, Mother. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having us. It's been an honor to be here tonight, and thank you for giving us this privilege. My name is Emmanuel Bikobala Zin Nagbi. I'm married. But for the listening audience, I'm married to my king who takes care of me. The person who my partner in this process today is Excellency J. Victor Nagby.
I hear you.
We are blessed with 3 boys.
Wow, that's awesome.
I have a background in alcohol and drug counseling, a master's in that, and family and marriage counseling. I work as a clinical director in an outpatient facility in the local area. I've been with ULLA for pretty close to 10 years. This time around, we became vice president. We hope to take this process forward. Our theme this year is celebrating our legacy and embracing our future. That program will be held in Atlantic City on September 27, 28, and 29. We inviting all of you. we personally invited you to come and provide us coverage so that we all can discuss what we've been and what will take this union to tomorrow. I thank you. I hope we'll have a healthy discussion.
Definitely. Two key words I pick up here from the onset: legacy and future. We will come to that. But let me go to the man of God. Uh, we don't ask questions from the scripture, so you know. We are going to talk about community, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Reverend Barclay, you're not strange to this network here. Let's just briefly give us a run through who is Reverend Barclay for those who don't know.
Well, my name is Reverend James Barclay, and I live in Pleasantville, where I serve as a city council member. Married to my wife, beautiful wife, Mama Barclay. We have beautiful children in America. We partner together. We spearheaded the purchasing of the first Liberian church in this region, and which will soon be dedicated. I serve as Secretary General for the Fellowship of Churches, which is 98 years old organization, the first African to go to the executive committee level for 10 years. And my interest was drawn to ULLA when I did my graduate course at Capella University for the School of Public Service Leadership. I went to Minnesota and put my bank card in the bank machine and asked me two questions. You want to speak English or you want to speak Somali? That touched me. This is why I've been on the drive of changing this union in a direction that it can benefit our people. And when I use the word benefit our people, it benefited our people in the past, but the course has changed. So we have to change direction. Today, I serve as first vice chairman of the board of directors, and I'm proud to work with the Keita and Nambe administration to steer ULLA in the direction that we all dream and vision to see it go.
Okay, so let's come to the chief executive of this union here. Mr. President, good evening. It's an honor and privilege to have you here. Welcome on LPR.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here tonight. I appreciate it. And we thank you so much for your services to our community. My name is Mohammed Emejiwan Kita. I'm married with family. I got kids, and I'm a businessman. And in part of politics as well, I'm an advocate for human rights as well. And I've been in ULLA for almost 20 years, serving the Liberian people, and I will not get tired. Now, ULLA is on a real track and a good time, but this organization today is more united than ever before. And I would promise that Liberian people will be proud of this organization, ULLA. And I thank you so much. And please just come September 27, 29 in Atlantic City. Let's celebrate the 50 years anniversary. It is hard. 50 years, organization is still living and moving forward. That's a blessing. Thank you and God bless.
I'm hearing a lot of commitments and a lot of strange words, even those words have been heard, but I'm not going to apply it to those who have spoken about them before. Well, guys, we want to say thank you so much for joining us. Let's distract. I'm going to digress a little bit, and we're going to come to the main substance here. ULLA, is it something new? I've been with ULLA as well, privileged to serve as commissioner on 2 terms and successful elections and all of that here. Is it a new birth of ULLA? Is it something new we're going to see that we have not seen before that will attract those who feels of somehow or they are not part of ULLA because they are not in certain category? Are we going to see a new ULLA that will incorporate, that will bring in new generations, open the door, avoid that sort of folks of the same caliber to be together? I just want to give you the opportunity here and to kind of set that tone and then we can get to this conversation. Anybody who wants to take the lead?
Okay, Zion, I want to thank you for that question you raised. Let me just personalize it a little bit. One of the primary things I brought to ULLA was when I served as Election Commission Chair for 2021. I removed ULLA voting papers from the traveling bag to electronic system. Traveling bag where people had the authority to decide who will win and who will not win. I introduced the idea with the help of Honorable David Flomo, who was serving as my deputy. We introduced electronic system. So that one of the things we want to show to the audience out there that this group is geared towards changing ULLA where it can be totally inclusive for all. There will be no discrimination. There will be no preference for special group. If you are qualified and you work hard, you can ascend to a position. But before I stop, let me make a correction to my colleagues here, please. Don't just say Atlanta City, because my city is hearing. The convention will begin in my city, Pleasantville. Before you come to Atlanta City, please, I want to issue that disclaimer right away.
I love that already.
Thank you, Rary. Thank you. It's my error. The program will be held in 2 cities.
Thank you.
The Friday program and the assembly will be held in Pleasantville, New Jersey, and the inaugural ball and the beach party will be held in Atlantic City.
Wow.
So to our listening audience, all the council people out there, all our friendly pastors, Pleasantville is the city to be in on Friday night and Saturday morning.
Wow. Okay.
So to follow up with what Rabin was saying, when we came to when I became Secretary General of ULLA, one of the things we initiated was to create a secretariat. Because for the longest time we had a Secretary General. We try to do that. We didn't perfect it all the way. We are happy that our administration is building on that secretariat that we initiated. We're ready to have a secretariat that disseminates information accurately and effectively. We have a secretariat that we have the Facebook issue, we have the social media, we have the newsletter that goes out. The president is a very, very strong supporter of women. We have the women empowerment platform that we're trying to build so that we can disseminate the information, not just a few ULLA women, but Liberian women across the board. We are hoping that we can use that instrument to attract other women organizations in America. We are also reviewing the Constitution to see where did we go wrong or how can we increase the involvement of more chapters. So for instance, New Jersey alone has 3 chapters. Then you have a state of like Pennsylvania has maybe 2. So we need to look at that. We need to look at that so that and so that election year, when election comes, people not scrambling for delegates. It's inclusive. So how do we look at this future? We look at the future by identifying where were the shortcomings or what the good things that were done and how can we improve on that.
Okay. Mr. President?
Yeah, I mean, to add to the vice of the board of director and the VP, this is a continual process. And the difference, what are we doing? Right now, ULLA is working very hard to build a multi-complex in Liberia. Though we had a 50th anniversary, so this year we'll start raising funds to build the building, that entire complex, which comprises a medical area, storage, also comprises an education center, after-school program, and women empowerment center that will be in Monrovia. So this time, our people will see things that what ULLA is doing physically. So for us to see how best we can help Liberia. We'll have a warehouse there, place where we can keep a medical equipment, anything that we can keep there, anytime we carry to Liberia. Because most of the time when ULLA carry things in Liberia, it's just difficult, for us to keep some of those things when you load either it's spoil or somebody will take it on their own. We'll be having a warehouse. And that complex will consist of a lot of things. And this also will generate employment for Liberians. So we are doing something great. And this, what we are doing was a dream of our forefather. Those are put the organization together, before us 50 years ago. Thank you.
Okay. I try to give the opportunity to set a different tone to our listening audience, Liberian people. Everybody have their own personal perceptions of a this organization, the few they are not part. And I hope this would not be the end, because one of the things with our organization, we see faces only when there's a big event. But what happened when there's a big event? The public relations aspect, the public relation aspect is very, very key, because other than that, people will just render judgment based on the information they have, and they will fill in the gap. It's obvious, both governments and in our own. So LPR is here. We are here to support community initiative. First of all, we must make the community to grow. Then we expand on the national front. And I think it is important. So whatever project you are doing, feel free anytime to let us know. We will not hesitate to have this conversation, give it some sort of public attention. Let us be part of the problem finding solution to this problem. Then if there's anything that then we'll critique. Okay, guys, let's get a ball rolling. Thank you so much. Let me start with the VP. So you don't get jealous. You're gonna be treated here. Because her husband is a contributor here, so she get edge on you. So when a VP here, I believe it's in your city. What is the significance of this? You use a word here, legacy and future. That caught my attention. Where is the legacy? Where is the future? What is the significance of this program? You want me to leave from Rhode Island, other people to leave from other places to come. Let's put that apprehension to rest.
So thank you for that great question. So how often we talk when we talk to people, what ULLA has done. Oh, these people just want job in Liberia. So 1974, when ULLA was born, it was born with people of different demographics. And the presentation of our societal needs at that time was very different. Sam Jackson said on another TV a couple of weeks ago, last week, I think it was, he said we were young students who came to America. So fast track, 50 years now. So that was that 1970 group, then the 1980 group, then the post-war Liberia group, the refugee, the migration. Now, this ULLA is made of people who have families, who have investment in Liberia and in America. Most of us, all of us on this stage tonight, not looking for government job. We are not here because we want a job in Liberia. The truth is, we believe what happens here in ULLA represents what may happen in Liberia. Issues of transparency, issue of bringing people together, issue of people being conscious on how to be respectful of each other is important to this union. Our Liberian diaspora organizations, you see, they have all kinds of little small confusion. And when you research it a little further, it starts from the way we disrespect each other. If I respect you, I don't steal from you. If I respect you, I don't abuse you. It's that underlying issue that we have to find out. So what does this future look like? The future look like us expanding across this diaspora to engage in more chapters. This future talks about you may not like me, I may not like you, but it's about Liberia, it's about ULLA. We have to come on board. This future talks about election is over. We all have to come and govern. This future talks about reconciliation. This future talks about engaging the youth. This future talks about partnering with government to make sure that the needs of Liberians are met. This future talks about out of country voting. This future talks about creating a financial institution in Liberia. This future talks about finding an app that will replace SendWave and MoneyGram in Liberia so Liberians can benefit from the economy. I will yield to my president if vice chair. Thank you.
Wow. Mr. President, go. Who wants to go?
Yeah, I mean, the VP really touched a lot of it and whatnot. You know, when we talk about legacy, we talk about things that was done to prepare some of us today. 50 years ago, we were not nowhere around here. Down there in elementary school, struggling with flyer in our hand, moving around for what ULLA was doing here. We don't know what even about ULLA. We don't even know how to pronounce it. And based on the legacy, what they built is what we are sitting out today and proudly putting our hand up to say, yes, we are Liberian, we can do our own thing. Our forefather built the bridge, and the bridge they built is solid, strong indeed, and united. We cross that bridge today to reach out to some of the generation that coming, after us. And that's what we are doing. And now we're looking forward to that, to make sure that every Liberian proud of this organization, and will do a lot. Because when you go to other organization, other African country, you sit there, not that they can't fight, but it has something in common. One thing is their right. One thing, what they can do for their country is what they pull for. Liberia is strong. We have people here, business people, born in this union here during the union time. And I would pray to God that to continue with it. And today, this union is strong, stronger than ever before. We're united. And I'm thankful to God that Liberian just begin to realize that ULLA is a group, is an organization at least to be with. That indeed we will do something that you've been dreaming about. Thank you.
Okay, Reverend?
Yeah, thank you. I want to thank my colleagues, and I just want to add my word by saying this leadership is highly diversified. And let me just bring you to where my interest lies in this ULLA that is moving in this direction. My interest is ULLA has the capacity to benefit Liberians in Liberia and the United States from the system that is in this country. How can ULLA do that? By teaching our members, our citizens, how to engage in the socio-political mechanism of this country. America is not a place that things just happen for you. You have to be part of the system. By teaching Liberians not to cast their votes in the shadow. Here in this country, when I speak, I'm just coming from Atlanta City Council meeting. I tell them I'm carrying 3,000 votes with me everywhere I go. America is numbers, political numbers. When you have the numbers, you can advocate for your country, and your country can benefit from it. But my interest is to teach my fellow Liberians how to get into the system and be a part of it and compete. Because the more Liberians we have in the American political system, the more our country can benefit. For example, the speaker is coming here. I'm on a mission. I'm preparing engagements for him. I was having a meeting with the largest hospital facility here. And one of the vice presidents introduced, said, look, are Liberian nurses, do they have nursing school in Liberia? I said, yes. He said, why aren't they qualified like the Philippines? I said, I don't know. He said, maybe it's something we can start to look into. So these are the directions that I'm looking to that can benefit Liberia and Liberians. But we can only achieve this status if more Liberians put their foot in this untouchable water.
Now you touched on something. So my throat now is, my esophagus is doing some kind of thing now to bring up some kind of question. Now, ULLA, politics seems to dominate all that is happening, the decisions that are made. Speaker is coming. Is there a political wing in this organization? Or if not, why? Because you make an investment. You must be persuasive. We got to make these people to do the right thing if we are, and we must support them. Like what you're doing now, it's huge. You find a solution to the many problems that is facing our country. And we are all as patriots or citizens, whether we agree with for or against, we must do our part. And if we can't do our part, if they fail to take those actions, then we come against it. And I'm asking these questions to say that, you lawmaker, guys, something not right. Is somebody telling us, is ULLA willing to look in the faces of these people, Speaker, you need to cut down your budget. Let's address some of these issues at JFK, at the Jackson Fiado Hospital, Redemption Hospital. Every day we hear stuff. I don't intend, hopefully, you guys want to come here, but my own throw to a quick to get issue when Sonny can then I don't want to leave my audience in doubt. The speaker are you saying the speaker of the House of Representatives, I saw down the flyer, will be in attendance?
Yeah.
Yes, we are saying that. And we are saying that a couple of things we have to do here. We're not fighting. This new ULLA, we're not fighting. We are solution based. So you touch two key issues, and Brother Barkley also just said to you some of the partnerships that we're working on in the background. Very recently, Musa Hassan lifted an act that allow us in America to contest for positions in Liberia. That's progress. That's partnership progress. We didn't talk to him and left. He initiated that because that has been an ongoing issue. The speaker is coming. We represent the diaspora voice. We will have a conversation. We don't have to fight about it because when you fight, you don't achieve. I have a therapeutic background. It's engaging so you can understand each other and come up with a solution. Like all of us know the resources here. We're talking about scanning machine, not in Liberia. Can the speaker be introduced to Atlantic Care, which is a multi-billion facility, and say, hey, we can get you 5 scanning machines, ensure that it gets to Liberia? Is that a possibility? I think so. So this process, this new ULLA is about collaborating, partnering to find solutions to our problem. We're not here yelling at, oh, you that person steal, so we're gonna no. If you steal, they'll find solution to stop you from stealing.
I love that. So,
if you're a bad person, that make you good, so Liberia can benefit. Because when we start to yell and accuse people, we put them in a defense position, and we don't get results. This is a new ULLA. Again, we are inviting everybody. Please come to Atlantic City. Let your voice be heard in assembly, because these decisions we're talking about, it will be voted upon in the assembly and will give us a platform to initiate our activities over the next 2 years. Thank you.
I'm hearing a lot of good things here. I'm going to hold my breath. I'm not going to make quick judgment on that. But Mr. President, from what I'm hearing from your colleagues, this ULLA seems to be a ULLA to result oriented. How long can this honeymoon last in terms of pushing these things there? I don't like these things. You talk it and we don't follow through, and there's no result. By the time we start talking, they say, oh, the people, they talked the thing here before. But we'd like to give people the chances. How long can this go on?
Well, first of all, thank you. It's a question of how long. That's why ULLA, we have the assembly. That's why this year in the assembly, we want to pass a law in our assembly to make sure that whatever we discuss, it pass into law. You can't change it. If you happen to come to leadership to say, this is what we're supposed to do for Liberia, for our people, when a new leader happens to come, you don't change it. Because what happened in the past, whenever new leadership take over, what you're supposed to do from their predecessor, they have their own thing to do. And that will go that way. And again, let me go back a little bit, the question of if this is a political, no, it is not. This is inclusiveness. This is what everybody, our speaker is coming here to talk to Liberian people. Let him see for himself how united we are. Let him see for himself how transparency it is here. And we embrace and also appreciate their past election. Those are some of the things we call our leader to come here. For what they did in Liberia, have an election without no problem. Go to most of the African countries today, it's not like that. We're thankful to Liberia, we have a very successful election in the country. So having our speaker here is one of those things that they are here to see for themselves, for them to tell them thank you, you know. But this will continue. And whatever we put that on the ground, that we talk about the complex that we're trying to build in Liberia, there will be a law that passed, a policy that if you happen to come, wherever we stop this administration, if we finish it, amen. Wherever we stop, the new leader coming, they will commence from there too as well. And we'll also make sure that You come in here, embrace together, embrace love for one another. The Liberians come together as one. It is not a fighting force. Most people will say, well, every time you are fighting. No, it's not a fight, but it's a difference of policy, which people don't understand. If that thing happen to come, we resolve it. Once it's resolved among ourselves here, then we can move forward. The only thing I tell some of my colleagues, if you in ULA and whatever you put forward, and the majority says this and embrace and accept it, don't run away because this is you. Because when you leave from ULA for the next 10, 15 years and you say, what ULA have done, we'll put a string in your face that ULA give you green card. We'll put a string in your face that ULA gave medicine in Liberia. We'll put a string in your face that there were COVID-19, we have that. We'll put a string in your face that we failed people. We'll put a string in your face that we helped school in Liberia. It may not be physical, but we've done something. ULA have done something. That's why the legacy has to be embraced for the future. Thank you.
I'm getting a very different tone here. I've dealt with a lot of the former presidents. I'm not saying they didn't do anything. I'm getting a different tone here. I'm saying different thing here. And on our part as a network community base to also enhance information sharing, promote our community to initiate it, at the same time holding them responsible, we are willing. Unless you choose, we are willing to allot a kind of ULA hour here, be it monthly, because there is a breach of gap. And that's one of the reasons we are having this problem we are having before. A lot of stations without managers, without editors, without anything, they get it and they run with it. And the other person take it and carry it to Radio Nimero and you see it goes viral. Then we put in more time to do correction, damage control, because part of that, the leaders are not coming forward to tell us, or they become selective which network where to go. Yeah. So again, we are making this public declaration and LPR. We are willing, if the leadership, whatever committee, once a month and come here, because the more you tell people, the more people will get on your side, and I think that is very much important. We are open to that. Let's come to the conversation now. Yes, it seems to be the
before you go to the conversation. Thank you for that offer. I don't want us to take it for granted. It means a lot to us. It means it's extremely important. I'm very grateful for this. That's one of the things that we've been seeking to do. How can we have our voices heard all over the place? There's a lot we do that we don't tell. We just recently extended the DDD for 6,000 Liberians. Not many people know about it. Nobody knows how many restless nights these gentlemen have to write letter, call Congress people. Nobody knows that, but that happened. It happened quietly. So sometimes people who tell us, "Oh, we don't know what you are doing," we just did that. Those 6,000 people, it's a significant portion of our Liberian community.
Right.
People are involved from deportation. Their homes were not disrupted, jobs were not disrupted because we did that. I can travel to Liberia, enjoy my Liberian passport. I can travel all over the region with my Liberian passport. That's something that we did. But not many people appreciate what they're not aware of it. So giving us that kind of platform an hour, I think will be significant and will take our process to another level. I thank you very much.
Okay, and let me just tell you, I have some Massachusetts and California liberals on this network who are contributors. So they will be Yemi, Kai. You don't listen to them. We're here to keep it real. Okay, so the inaugural ball. Let's go inside this whole big event, the 50th anniversary inaugural. Give us a run through here, Mr. President, Madam Vice President. I believe the stage is all set. How is the preparation going? So what is the level of preparation? So what are you anticipating for this day?
Well, first thing, on the program, Thursday going to be the meet and greet where we'll dance and talk about and whatnot, go to bed at night and get ready for the next day, which will be Friday. Friday mainly going to be one of the main program where we'll be honoring our past leaders. Our past leaders, those who stood, will be honoring them. Every past leader of ULA will be honored that night. And that same night too, we'll be honoring all the chapters that work with ULLA. Be ULLA, because ULLA is a chapter-based organization. And some people say, oh no, but this chapter has not done before. No, we're not looking into that. We're looking at all the chapters to come will honor you. Because you've done something in the past. You might have left, but you've done something in the past to uplift Liberian. So we have to tell you thank you. And we also look up to our county organization, all the 15 counties. When crisis were there, it was nowhere for people to move around. But our county organization, they stood up. They made sure that people remain intact, to support ULLA. We want to tell them thank you so as well. Some of our elders will honor them that night for their invaluable services for the organization. It will be that night. And some of our women, our mother, then will be honored that night. And that's Friday. Next day, Saturday, will be the assembly. And I told all the chapter leaders, all Liberians, don't sit by the fence and say, well, whatever do, that's it there. Because when they pass a law, don't complain. Come. Because it will be on the drawing board that day. It's something they're going to talk about, which will last for the next 100 years. You have to be part of that. Don't stay behind. Come that day and let people hear your voice. Bring your chapter, bring you. You come there that night. And then this Saturday night will be the inauguration, where that night we will raise our hand to say, yeah, we swear we'll serve you and we'll honor exactly what the Constitution says. And we promise we'll live up to that. Because we'll make sure that every cent, every dime, every sweat we put in to build our complex in Liberia, it will be used for that purpose. And we'll tell our Liberian, every money you pay is not going to be deposited in an American account. It will go straight to Liberia in the account there. So you'll know, we'll make sure the money that will be placed there, every cent that was spent, every bag of cement you give, every load of sand you will give us, every nail, every zinc that you will give us, we'll get account of it. We promise you. And come Sunday night. That Sunday program, in the morning, at least, we have to tell God thank you. We have to go to our service area and tell God thank you for keeping us together as Liberians. We'll be there that morning to serve God. We appreciate all Liberians, no matter how tough it is, no matter how you sick, whatever it is about time for us to tell God thank you. That will be in the morning. And after that, guess what? You'll be on the beach. Make sure, bring your swimming trunk, bring your pants, enjoy it. So the barbecue will be there for you to enjoy. I promise you, I got some monkey meat. It will be there. So, take it from the East Coast.
Don't say you don't have my brother.
Yeah, I get you the meal. The pussy you can eat cats already.
Lord, I get you give me.
Everything will be there for you to enjoy that day. Let's start. And after that, we tell each other, thank you. We pray and hug each other. This is ULLA. Let's hope. This is what we have. Nothing more. You know what happened during the war. We ran out, we went to all the country. Guess what? We came back to motherland. ULLA is your motherland. Come, embrace it. Thank you so much.
Okay. I think maybe the VP and the Reverend, somebody want to add something on it?
So we are calling on all Liberians across our found diaspora. Join us in Atlantic City and Pleasantville. Let's experience our legacy and embrace the future. Let's open our ideas to the new development. Let's concentrate on the ULLA of today. Let's thank our old leadership for everything they have done. We are standing on these people's shoulder. Please do not sit in the background and say, oh, that the same thing again. Please come with your ideas. We are open. We want it inclusive. If you can't come, drop us an email, send us your ideas, tell us what you think so we can make it happen. If you're in a chapter that you feel is disgruntled, you don't like, come to this convention. Let your voices be heard so we can make something work. We encourage all of you. Atlantic City and Pleasantville will be the center point on September 27, 28, and 29. Come be a part of a historical event. It will be great. We will have a good time. I thank you.
We're talking about beach, and then by the guy Shagara, you need to start finding something to treat there before before it goes for the go.
No, don't worry. We got a lot of nices here. We'll give you cream when you walk in. You always sit in my back.
Let me elaborate on the event a little bit. During the night of the honoring, there will be some honoring from this community. The Fellowship of Churches plans to honor some Liberians at our function. And on the last day, which is the church service, which will be held on Atlantic Avenue at New Shallow Baptist Church, there will be another honor that will take place, but they have not disclosed to me who they will be honoring, but they said there will be another honoring from the Fellowship of Churches. So I'm just calling upon my fellow Liberians to observe time. We are in America. The hall that was booked has the capacity to be expanded to 800 guests. But we want you to buy your ticket if you have not done so, please, because the hotel has a cut-off date, and we are already running in the cut-off date. We want you to please buy your ticket. It will not be business as usual, where you go to every Liberian function and pay your money at the door entering. It will not happen here. So please hurry, inbox us and get your ticket. We can get it to you any kind of way. But we are in a cut-off moment. This weekend is the cut-off moment. But we are trying, negotiating to move a little bit further. So we are appealing to our people to take advantage of that. It's not Liberian business as usual. Please get your ticket.
You're talking about ticket. What is the cost or contribution to this?
Yes, I did. We all forgot that. So the patron ticket is $200 for the entire event, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the
Who the
regular
patron
ticket,
are? The people that got radio station?
say that for me?
Who the patron? Like people that got radio station, or who are the patron? Example.
The patron like this is a sponsor.
Oh, that sponsor like this, eh? Okay, fine.
A sponsor.
He's
So the
shaking
paper is
it.
$200.
Which scripture he go into this evening?
And the regular ticket is $130. If like the pastor said, ladies and gentlemen, listen to us. We have already reached our cutoff point. We have two more days, some 2 days that we can wingle around. Please, you gotta prepay your tickets. You don't got money, so we cannot go and provide stuff that we don't have. So we are paying as we go. If you come into that program, or even if count that deposit into the union, it's $200 for patron ticket and $130 for regular ticket for you to enjoy the whole weekend.
So, yeah, you, the lady in the house, that what is the package until it comes with somebody that might be wondering, okay, I can pay the $200, I can give my contribution 130, but is there a package? Is there any other thing it comes with?
It comes with you eating on Friday, eating and drinking on Friday, dancing, enjoying the atmosphere on Friday. It comes with you attending assembly that will provide you food and drinks also Friday morning. It comes Saturday morning, and Saturday evening it comes with inaugural ball, free where it's all inclusive, and Sunday the beach party. So all the activities. All
right, I think that's a fair deal. So, Mr. President, I heard you saying you're raising your hand up now. What is the budget? Fabulous? You're going to spend a lot of money to be inaugurated, or is something ideal, considering the organization, the status of the organization, or you want some sort of flamboyant inaugural ball?
Well, we're not spending the money to be inaugurated. We're spending the money so we can raise funds that day for our complex. Because Friday night, we had Dr. Tua and Honorable Sia. They are the chief launcher. They will be there that night and shoot a raise fund for us as well. And Saturday, they're going to do the same thing too as well for us to raise fund. And from there, at least on Sunday, well, with small fund, maybe Dr. Tua will be there, I will not be there. And we will make sure that there will be a booklet. And in the little brochure, you will see their name, you will see their telephone number, and the amount you put in. So whatever you donate to us, it's tax. All you have to do next year, we have a 501c3, which is you can use that. And when you file your taxes next year, you show it that you get money to us. And that money you give us is not a waste. You can just show it to us well. So that booklet will be there. And we're also looking up to something, hopefully, on Friday night, the same Friday, there will be a display of the hall, the complex, which will carry on, will be there to show to Liberian people this is what we intended. You'll see how the hall look like. It's in White Plain, right there in Monrovia. So that you're going to see that too as well. We'll be giving a booklet to people to write down, people will pledge. And one of the things like Brumpo is everybody want to hold the mic in their hand. Have our lunch here. You come here, you want to do something, fine. Take the mic, say something, you put a little thing down for us. We accept pledges, cash, and whatnot. But one of the biggest things here is that in America, which we live today, you go to some colleges, or you go to some of the hospital and whatnot, some complex where you see somebody will sponsor a hall, a little room where they will put their name on it. This era was sponsored by Source Farm.
Right.
They will look at that as well. And that package will be there. If you can afford that, we're not asking to pay all the money. If it's $1,000, if it's $2,000, all you have to do is give us money. This is me. Like me, I know a lot of people will be fighting for that place. It's a hall that I really targeted to make sure that at least that hall there, whatever the hall costs, I will struggle, talk to my family for us to put money down for it. So I can put my mother picture there to show to the people how my mother, what she did for me, to put her picture there and my family picture there. Or sometimes a room there where we can, for women empowerment, where they will teach women. I also intended to look at that area to make sure to contribute. And that it will be open to every Liberian. And those who can afford the people hall, we'll get a parking lot. A parking lot will be there. There'll be a space there. Where you want to put there? My name is Yakobo. My name is John. See, this is the place. How much for that? It's $100, $200. You make that payment, that little thing will be there, your name will be there, you sponsor that. And those who can afford all of those things, people will pay 50 cents, $100, $10, $20. We got a place where every Liberian contributor, whether you get cement to us, say anything, we'll put your name there. The any feature that 30, 50, 75 years from now, when your great grandchildren look, they'll be proud of you. So that's why we're looking forward to, to make sure that we raise our fund during that day. It's not only just inauguration. The inauguration is just to tell you that we're ready to work for you, to swear to say, yes, we are ready and we are committed. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's a very good strategy. This is something other organization we suggested. It's just about how you communicate and how you want it to be, being very persuasive to people, tolerance, get the other side of the story. But I think that's a very good one. And we see the big institutions, universities, you see this person hall, this person center, they didn't get and put it there. You want it to be memorable, you want for history to recall you, you got to make that sacrifice. It's a good thing. Revin? So how is it going so far? I think this has been so out to the ULLA, to the community organizations and all of that. There's something I don't want to forget. You inserted into the conversation is this counter, because we have had this conversation in the past over and over. How can these county organizations, when we say ULLA is a mind power for all of us, but then you want to leave the stepchild or whatever, children out there. And these county organizations, they are very, very vital. We see them, some of them very progressive, getting things done. So from what I try to sense out here, this administration or this new ULLA try to absorb these county organizations to be part, or maybe sort of decision-making, ceremonial positions, or whatever. How do you intend to incorporate them?
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, let me begin by stating that ULLA has the policy that is open to county organizations. But what we have done this time is, at the board level, we have reinforced the membership oversight committee to empower the administration's chair on membership so that we can create incentive for those county organizations. Like there is a proposal that has been circulated, it has not been put on the floor, but to increase the county's voting power from where it is now. They have a 10-member voting power, but maybe to increase it to maybe 20 or maybe 15 to 20, whichever the General Assembly goes. That would be one of the ways to incentivize their involvement. So we are trying to encourage all the county. The policy is already there, but we are trying to reinforce it and to encourage them, to entice them to come on board, because indeed we value them. Let me just tell you one thing. When I sit there and see Grand Union County Convention, South County Convention, it's like you go for presidential election in Liberia, you know.
Right.
So this kind of group, we want to bring them on board, and we'll not be bringing them on board as law to them, but we ask them to teach us. How did they do it? How did they manage? We will be humble to ask them. So they are going to be holding leadership positions on the committees, to be having capacity to educate us on how we can ascend to that level where our accounts can be built up by membership enthusiasm.
Okay. Let me go to the VP. You want to come in, Mr. President?
Oh, no. Wait.
Okay. All of these things we are talking, they sound so good, so key, so vital, very, very much essential. The apprehensions of ordinary Liberia, including myself, this issue of a transparency and accountability. People, I don't think you were promised when you were going as a president, vice president, that you are going to be paying you $1,000 every month. So you knew everything. Nobody have to tell you. You knew that you walk into it. But when it comes to maybe giving financial reports, then leaders become intransigent. After all, I volunteer. I get family to take care of. I get they want to do report is not, and that's the disheartening part. And so people cannot get reports. Those who don't give, then it gives them the right to talk where they have not been talking, because first of all they don't give. What is the transparency aspect, the open book aspect? Your administration is very, very vital, because they put everybody in that deplorable situation. Oh, everybody corrupt, and we all accuse people that which is not fair as well. But I'm asking, what is transparency after convention inauguration? Are we going to take 6 months, half a year before report come in?
No, sir. It's not going to happen on Mohammed Keita's watch. So what we have done is we're putting a financial team together. That we have our treasurer elected, we have the financial secretary, but we want to add people to that team. When you do a team effort, that you spread the workload, and you have a check and balance system. We want to add an auditor, a person who works in this country as an auditor to the team, where if we leave on Sunday, by Monday morning, a tentative report should be placed in our chat rooms that says, this is what we collected, this is what we spent so far, and we still have outstanding liabilities of X. It shouldn't be secret. That email, I trust my president. Whoever gave us that email, both of us will post it. The program committee will provide us a report that says this was a budget that was submitted, and there was the actual budget that was implemented, so that we can have a roadmap to this, so next year we can be scrambling for information.
Okay,
we don't have a lot to give, but we have our name and reputation at stake.
Yep.
We want to make sure that when I leave power, nobody should call me the name I don't want to be called. Like I said in the initial start of this conversation, I said the reason why Liberians do what they do to each other is there's a lack of respect. If we have people traveling from all over the states, they come to New Jersey, Southern Jersey for a whole weekend, it's only fair that we make sure those people have the required reports. The secretariat will produce a report that says these are the policies that we agree on, and this is how we implement them. So we can go in dark. So when we come back here next month, when you give our 1 hour, my president will be saying to you, This is what was agreed upon in our assembly. This is what we did, and everybody had that information. I thank you.
They can hear because it's talking. Are they recording here? Our saving day. We have to delete and have it go back. The time comes, we'll call you, say, okay, this is what you said. Mr. President, I guess you want to respond.
Yeah. You know, most of the time, people after the inauguration, everybody go to sleep. Now we have an agenda. When we're done with this, there'll be a diaspora forum, perhaps. That will be partnership with FLA. We just want to say, take this time to tell FLA, our brothers and sisters, those are in the other country, Europe, Asia. We thank you so much because of you, because your partnership with ULLA here in America here, we managed to get to our citizenship. Because of you, we are fighting now for the income for the other country voting. By grace of God, we will succeed. We just want to thank you. We're not going to stop right after the operation. We have a lot of work to do, a work to perform in that place. And again, next year, we don't have the time to pay. Hopefully, we should be doing something that called ULLA Homecoming Financial Expo, where we're going to have do the let's say the groundbreaking ceremony, what will be the groundbreaking ceremony for the complex. We will start it at that time. We just want to say thank you so much. Please join us to build the complex. It is not only for diaspora, American, Liberian. They also go to Europe. What I put out there is for everyone. It's diaspora, Liberian. They're not only for America, all over. It can be Ghana, it can be Europe, it can be any part of the world. That complex building there is for everyone of us. Thank you.
Okay. Remy, I believe you want to come in.
Yes, I just want to issue a very clear disclaimer here. Mr. Keita and the Vice President will be responsible to make report. On making a report, we are now on the same team. I will be making that demand from the board side that they make that report. Because my board members are watching so that they will know that I registered our position here. It's our responsibility to provide oversight. So I trust Honorable Keita. He knows what the board can do. He knows how tough we are. He is going to make that report according to the standards of the union, and we believe in his integrity. So I just want to assure the public on this.
Okay, all right. We're making a lot of commitment here tonight, which is good. So we're going to keep everything on fire. Let me see here. I know we are running out of time for our second segment. How people are sending in their donation contributions. I believe we had a flyer here, not to cover you guys' faces. That's it. And then maybe you can go over the number here. I believe they are cash out number 7. Is that 781 or 7612443?
781.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do on our end, maybe the VP or you can go over it. We'll try to restart it, and then during our other programs here, we can kind of be doing. I'm quite sure there are contacts number there that people, whoever they can contact to get into this. Again, like I said, we hope it will be a sort of ongoing conversation, just how the thing comes out here prior to the program. Hopefully, after the program, we wish the best to come back and say, hey, this is the result. I think it's a sort of confident building process. I see this administration try to mend these fences and stuff like that. Some of the guys on bar builder, they will put the brakes down and do it some kind of way will fall down. Boy, you still have the capability to put that brakes to get that alignment going. There are people still live out there and they have all reason to be apprehensive. Put a little cold ice on this whole thing here. Let them go home to say, we heard something different from this ULLA yet. I will give them the second chance. Let us give you this opportunity to communicate, to speak that language that they will understand, that will give the new mindset of the ULLA you are talking about in the right words of the VP, legacy, future. But we have another onlander who is defining it in his or her own context, which is okay. But let's reiterate that yet. What will you be telling folks that are listening this evening before you guys leave?
Thank you so much for that question. Ladies and gentlemen, I had a Catholic priest who was my godfather. The last time he visited us here in America, in Philadelphia, was sitting in my high school priest. And he said to us, we are going, we left. We built it and we left. It's for you guys now. And we all were saying, hey, brother, that's a lot. Our kids are young and, and he said to me, he turned around to me and said, Miko, if not you, then who? Ladies and gentlemen, if not us, then who? We have sat in the back and complained for right reasons. We talk about lack of transparency. Come on board. Let's make it transparent. If not you, then who? Who's going to make it transparent? Who's going to make it better for us? We have to do that. We have to do that. We have a lot of Liberians here that have a lot of skills. We are highly educated in the diaspora. I went to Atlanta, Georgia, and I saw 2 young medical doctors, females, young women with energy. I called one of them. I said, can you please come to this convention? I said, don't give me that empty talk. Those are people who have good ideas. They're young. They're energetic. There are people who are willing to get up here and go to Cotton, to LU and teach for a year because they want a Liberian experience. But we have to embrace them. If anybody has hurt you in ULLA for whatever reason, I said it, please come back. Let's fix it. If not you, then who? This is our time. Then make ULLA a better place so that Liberia can be even a better place. All of us here in our 50s and 60s, we have to engage the younger generation. 20 years from now, most of us will be in retirement. What happens to us? So we're going to open this thing up to younger generation, to young men and women, so that they can come and one day build on our legacy. Our forefathers, the people before her, built us a platform. They advocated. They took Liberia on the map when we had war. Today, we're talking about dual citizenship. We're talking about Liberians can vote in Liberia. Can be elected in Liberia. Now we're talking about out of country voting. We're talking about banks. We're talking about financial institutions. We're talking about investing in Liberia. We're talking about putting some money in the private sector. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't do it by ourselves. We're talking about creating a database that represents the diaspora in the entire community. We can't do it by ourselves. So if you're sitting somewhere and you apprehend it, please come on board. Please help us. The great mathematician is here. Please help me teach math in Mano. I thank you guys. Thank you kindly.
Equity in education. You don't get Zanzakawa joy. You couldn't get it. You now come with different campaign. Every day you get different. There you go. Okay, Mr. President, this is a birthday guy, the legend himself, Sese Goyat. Happy birthday. I think the Tabagi today, I know, I thought you were going to surprise one
the Tabagi, that Springfield, Ohio kind of Tabagi we get. So, very relax.
Oh, my God. Sese, you're not ready.
Happy birthday, man.
Yeah. Mr. President? Oh, let me see. Is it muted?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Why, Mr. President?
Well, thank you very much, my brother, to have you tonight on your show. And we will also continue to tell Liberians that don't stay back there. Come to Atlanta City. We have a lot to give. We have a lot to tell you. Don't stand on the side and criticize. This is good, but if you do it within, you can fix a lot of things. Come join us. We're trying our possible best to make sure that at least you can have something back home. Then when you reach in Liberia, you have someone to say, yeah, this is what I've done. My people in Liberia. We've done a lot. We've got more to do. Unity is a strength. We have about God given right. So don't stay behind. You know us, and we are thankful for the past leadership. You did something that we will step in to make sure we continue with our legacy. We appreciate is for every one of us, is not individual property. The one thing that we'll try to do this time around, perhaps it will help a lot of Liberia. And this thing happens most at Liberian organization. Whenever you are dedicated to do a certain job and they trust you with that job there, that trust starts from here. You build that trust here is the same trust you want to build within America, you want job. Same trust that brown people will take from you in Liberia when you get home. You're giving a special tax. We appoint you as a committee for certain thing, please. Don't take it home property. We'll make sure we'll pass a law this time that when you're appointed or elected to serve, you will not take ULLA property. Because ULLA property is not just for one person. It was some of us other than yes. Like today in New York, where I live, a woman that not just into ULLA, she in her 80 years going there. She said, Kita, I'm going this trip again for us to do. She has contributed for every little money she put there to build that institution. If you take that, you say it's your property, you like property that was built by that woman and some other women, and you take it, is this your property? Believe me, God is there, will look. You will never, ever get anything from it. But this time around, we will wrap the law around it. You take any of that property, we'll sign document. You promise to give it back if you're not in that position. I just want to say thank you so much. Come, listen, Bill. I make sure Atlantic City will be doing it right. This is a history in the making. 50 years, you last history. We got the legs, we got the voice. And trust me, don't ever underestimate ULLA. We can still demonstrate. We can still come and tell you the real truth. We can tell you the truth in your face that you are treating people wrong. If you treat like Rumpo bad, we will stand up. That's what the organization is wonderful. We just want to say thank you so much. We appreciate you all. Don't hesitate to call us. Our phone line is open 24 hours. Talk to us. Thank you. And IFLA, our partner, our brothers, those are in Canada. And, we thank you so much. I know tonight, tomorrow, it will be the financial expert happening there tomorrow, and the president will be there. Come this Saturday, our president, Honorable Waka Excellency, will be in Staten Island. In Staten Island, let's go there and just thank you. You'll be there to tell you some good news. But don't jump at the newspaper. Can't hear from the president. Also, again, October, we'll be in Rhode Island to meet our president at home. And come September 27th, we'll be with the Liberian president at the United Nations, where he will address United Nations for our non-permanent seat. So I just want to say thank you. Don't miss it. You are strong, and believe me, it's stronger than ever before, and we are united. About us, we are forced. Liberians are strong. You can't temper us. This war is strong blessing of God. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We apologize for that background there. Let's go to Reverend for his closing. I don't know what else to say. The man above the man, ask a question here tonight.
Happy birthday to you.
We celebrate birthday, boy.
Are you coming to Atlantic City or are you checking out on me?
Well, the councilman say he got special money in your city council budget about my ticket, so we talk about that behind the
I think we can buy a ticket. I think we can get you hotel room.
Okay. All right. I want to thank you all, man. Go ahead.
No. I was about to tell my sister the whole negotiation with the hotel room. I said the councilman. You know how the councilman must take an upper rate. That is the councilman alone.
Me no understand English. I want to thank you all very much, and I want to just say this to our listeners. I have vested interest in all these commitments that we are making. I grew up in the progressive era of Liberia. I know how commitments can haunt people. I know my personal and professional interests are at stake in what we are doing here. But I just want to tell you there are a few things that you hear during the convention. We are going to introduce to you the mechanism of conflict resolution within chapters, which has been the source of conflict in all of ULLA, especially when it comes to delegate selection. We discuss these things to ensure that we are leading a peaceful ULLA, because if chapters are not peaceful, then we, the mother organization, will not be peaceful.
Absolutely.
As I speak to you, there are some chapters I will not name, but we are working tirelessly to ensure that the leaders of those chapters take the responsibility of calming down tension in the chapter and bringing the members together before they get here. To close, we'll be introducing an education aspect for elected leaders of ULLA. I have been in my elected position. First, I was elected on the school board. Now I'm on the council. But we are still on an education of how to lead people. I realize that this is lacking in ULLA and is lacking in Liberian society itself. We are going to introduce this so that if you become leader of ULLA, maybe in future in Liberia, you will go through some training, how to lead people, what to do, what has the semblance of corruption or not. We'll introduce all these things and we beg you, please come and give us your support so together we can lift our union and lift our country. May God bless you and see you in Atlantic City.
Okay, but I believe Mr. Boyer is here. ULLA is no strange. There seems to be a kind of different tone message I'm hearing. I'm still holding my breath to see it being perfected. Yeah, I don't give all my 100%, but I hear a lot of great ideas with the hope of moving this union into a different direction to take it from in a way people perceive is to be, and part of that, like I was telling them, and LPR, we don't. Entertainment is, Mr. President, to your official entertainment. Reverend Barkley being here multiple times is the most least thing we do. MC Cara, then they will do their part, but there's a disconnect, and that disconnect is the flow of information. And sometimes it comes from the recipient by they not understanding. Sometimes it comes from the leaders by they not communicating it well, so people fill in those gaps. CC has is part of this network, and we all want to see better Liberia, and better Liberia starts from home, from here to there. And part of that is for us to have these critical dialogue. There will be agreement, disagreement, some crazy thing will go on. But the bottom line is we must get at an end point where we can find an answer. So again, I want to say this here. We are willing to have this sort of time again with ULLA leadership. Once you can make yourself available every month, just to kind of give us a run through, so that way nobody will say, "Oh, they're not telling, oh, we not know it," because you don't want to listen and you don't want to hear it. So I just want to mention that, Mr. Goya, before they leave.
Yeah. First of all, I'm glad that you are doing what you're doing. I have a personal relationship with the Vice President, Mrs. Nangbe. We have a long relationship from when I first ran for Secretary General for ULLA. Her and her husband, who is an educational colleague, a big brother in the teaching field, hosted a fundraiser at their house for my campaign. So I have a personal relationship, and I hold them deeply dear to my heart. So the Reverend and I, we joke, we go a long way in politics. He's been a big brother. The President, Mr. Keita, and I have not had so much of a lot of conversation, but I know of him. I am the vice chair of OLM. So I'll be careful what I say here, because OLM happens to be one of your strongest subgroups. So we can talk whatever we can talk behind the scene. But let me say this in public, because I usually don't bite my tongue. I was disappointed in the way laws got brought in. We couldn't have elections amongst ourselves as Liberians. We couldn't resolve issues. We couldn't yield to the Council of Elders. We could not use our culture. In our culture, the elders settle disputes among us.
Yeah.
And whoever I call my elder, I don't care if they're younger than me, but if I identify you as an elder, it means I'm willing to listen. And I think we lost that part of our culture as Liberians, at least in the way the last piece went down. But I'm happy to hear from the Reverend Council Member Barclay about introducing conflict resolution, introducing a mechanism by which we all can feel heard and hear that, understand that just because you think you have a grievance don't mean you have to be right, and a resolution doesn't always mean that you get that you won. A resolution means that we have a final end, and we've all determined what that final end will be. So I'm really excited to hear that. I'm one of those people who had a bitter taste in my mouth for what happened. But Mr. So know me on this network. There's nobody that can bash ULLA while I'm sitting on a network or any other network, because I believe from my days in Liberia before coming here that ULLA is a force for good. The intent of ULLA was good. Is the operationalizing of that intent that leaves a bad taste in people's mouth. And I will hope that Mr. President Keita, you're listening, and Madam Vice President, you know me, I love you. You know where my heart is with you. I think you need to keep reaching out. There are some of us who are on the sidelines. We still love ULLA. We're just looking for entry point, and it's not just me alone. There's a bunch of people. Reach out, because we have to have an umbrella organization that can galvanize all of the forces from around. It's like in the physics experiment. You have all of these forces around. There has to be a central force that galvanizes all of that and turns that into whatever we want to call it, a volcanic force, a seismic shift. It has to be ULLA. So thank you all for coming out here. Like I say again, I am vice chair, so I can't speak a lot, but I'm excited about ULLA. I've always been excited about ULLA, and there's a lot of me out there. So continue to do what you do, and we hope that you chart a new course so that we all can feel comfortable coming back and naturally bringing our expertise to make ULLA better. So congratulations to you all. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Council Member, my own sister. I love you. You know that. Big ups to my brother, and we will keep in touch.
I will. Thank you.
Okay, guys, thank you so much, and we hope to continue this conversation at some point in time. Thank you so much. Take this break.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, and we continue.
Say all that thing talking, I'm waiting for you. I got your hotel room here. You got to come. I don't care what sideline is standing on that sideline. You got to climb that hill. And tell all the people that are on the sideline, say that you say she love you.
So I'm the captain for the sideline association now.
You say you're going to fix this thing here. You know we're all the team at one point.
You know how to get me, you part. Don't do it. Call me. Let's know I want to. Don't do all that.
Thanks you for having us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Let's take a break. We'll be right back with the second segment.
Hello everyone, my name is Poye, aka Diamond. I would like to share a little bit about someone incredibly special to me. My mother, Rose Johnson. My mother is the heart and soul of our family. Her love and unwavering support has shaped my siblings and I into the women we are today. She has taught us the value of resilience and compassion. On October 26th, we will be gathering to honor and celebrating our mother's incredible journey and all the lives she has touched. We would be delighted if you can join us on this special occasion, which will be hosted at a club in Cranston, Rhode Island. Your presence will mean the world to us. Thank you and God bless.
Welcome to the last and final segment in today's editions of All Things Considered. The analysts are here standing by different states. The most liberal on this network is here, the liberal progressive Samson Brown-Toh, Terry, the Minnesota politician, as well as his colleague, another Minnesota politician. They are all here.
You see how nicely dressed today in suit. Don't bring it today. Today, fire in the player.
They say, I beg you. I beg you. Say, I beg you. Leave that man alone. Let that man do a show.
They say you are not a cool man. You from Lofa
Say,
country.
leave it alone. He's the best. He's the best in the business. Let him do a team. Let's leave that man alone. I beg you. I don't want no jagla today. I beg you.
It's not a cool man. Stop acting like cool man. I'm from Lofa country.
How you know? Maybe if we do DNA test, them apart.
Gentlemen,
Impossible.
let me say happy birthday to a friend, to a brother, someone who has done a lot, not just only for this network, for the community. Sissy will say happy birthday. I will share your great time. But this is unusual. Why the liberals sounds to be so submissive this evening? Is that because of your birthday, or is there something that we don't know? We need to know here this evening, guys.
I think the liberal won't be transparent because the audit report is in its final stages. So he doesn't want to be.
Lead that team. Lead that team.
Okay. Audit report.
All right, guys, I gotta go.
What? Liberal money.
What?
Okay, liberal will behave. I will leave a fighting minute. We'll let a man do a show.
Yeah.
Audit report. Terry, are you on board with this audit report business?
Mr. So, can we drop the audit report issue and let's continue with the program?
I don't understand where that audit report coming from. I don't know about my hand on there.
Oh yeah. Okay, we will get to find out at some point in time. Okay, gentlemen, so welcome to the show. This is All Things Considered. I guess some of you were monitoring the ULLA folks. It's all part of All Things Considered here. There seems to be a sort of, what I'm hearing, like a sort of reset button this administration. I don't want to be judgmental. We don't get there yet. We're waiting to see. Hearing a lot of things happening here. Terry, you are following through as well?
Yeah, I followed a little bit, but I got distracted.
Okay, so if you don't want to speak to it, that's fine. Deliberate, you're following through?
I started a little bit, but then I drop off. So when you started with them, I drop off. So I wasn't following much. But ULLA from 19 ULLA is always there. I hope the young people would have learned the lesson of the past and perhaps make ULLA to be what it's supposed to be, the umbrella organization for all Liberians, and to truly seek the interests of Liberia and not political interests of the leadership of ULLA, which has always been the case. Most leaders of ULLA, from what I know, most often, as soon as they get the leadership, they start jockeying for position in Liberia, and interests of ULLA go on the sideline, and their interest of seeking political offices and what have you in Liberia becomes high on their agenda. And I hope that these young people now will learn the mistakes of the past, what I consider to be the mistake of the past, and seek the interest of the Liberian diaspora, and be the true ULLA organization that will represent all Liberians in the diaspora.
Cecil, let me just bring you. I'm not sure why people have problem with this seeking position, but is it a crime if you serve in ULLA, then you can't work for your country? Why? What is the connotation? How do we perceive this to actually be like?
Well, I don't think people feel like it's a crime, but if it becomes the ends to a means, if ULLA is being used as a springboard to that, then if you look at the founding document, the motive and the mission and the vision of ULLA, for which ULLA was funded, then they're kind of like there is a dissonance. That's how people look at it. If you were supposed to be holding the government to account, you want an accountability agency, so to speak, outside of Liberia, then people look at that as, oh, you sold out your pressure group status because you wanted that position. I don't think necessarily is wrong. Here's one thing I will hope ULLA, the new ULLA will look at. I will hope that they strive to drastically revamp the Constitution and rethink rewriting the mission of ULLA. From the 1970s, when it was a student collection of student organizations and for pressure group, to a new set of challenges the librarians have to face. You have a reverend who is an elected Liberian official who is on ULLA board. How can ULLA form a political arm that ensures that, because in order to move policy in America, you have to have elected officials that you have access to. That is why the issue of the TPT, the TPS and the DED took a long time, thanks to the like of Jack Reed and a lot of other people that pushed that. But we didn't have Liberians at the table, the real table. How can ULA have a political arm that will run campaigns in Liberian populated states like Minnesota, like Rhode Island, like Pennsylvania, like New Jersey, because that's how you gin up political strength and political power to change policy here that both affects our lives here, but also affect our lives back home. So I'm hoping this new ULA is thinking about that. But for me, I think ULA suffers from a historical hurt that some people have, perceived or real. That happens in the 80s, in the 70s, when Alexa Tongwoyu and other people were here, some infighting. ULA has never created a space for people to come and heal and vent out and move on. And so people are holding on to those historical harm and they're passing it down to other people. And folks judge successive ULA leadership based on what other leaderships have done before them. So I think there's a lot of work to be done. And I think any leadership that puts their mind to doing it can do it. For a fact, Mrs. Nangwe being on there, I have a lot of respect for her. I think, they have the talent to do it. Now I just hope they have the political will to do it.
Okay, let me bring in Mr. Victor Nangwe is here. Let me see. Can we? If you're ready, just unmute yourself, Mr. Nangwe. Don't we? We'll get you. Okay, are you there, Mr. Nangwe?
I am, and thank you very much. Good evening to everyone. Hey, my brother, happy birthday. Yeah. We pray for nothing but more grace, long life, good health. Thank you also to the CEO and the station. I watched the program, and thank you very much. I think it was a great show. I couldn't agree more with my friend and colleague. I think it is a fact, even those of us right now who are leading the ship of the union are aware that the union suffers a huge trust deficit. We know that. And we're working tirelessly to expand the umbrella. Even those of our colleagues who and us were engaged in the disagreement on how to move beyond September 16th of last year, we're reaching out to them to also bring them back into the fold. So we are moving out, no holds barred, to bring in the best, the brightest. After all, there was Liberia before there was ULLA. So we're aware of that, and we're working overtime. And so thank you very much when, stations like this helps us to spread the message. We must, register our appreciation and gratitude. We're very hopeful that, together, we'll return that trust and respect to the union. As Sissy was saying, all of us here grew up looking up to the union as one of the voices of hope, reason for Liberians here abroad and back home. Whenever ULLA spoke, we all paid attention. We can't say that is happening today. We are aware of that, And so we know we have work to do. And so yes, we came in, we lost about 5 months of our tenure. So we came in 5 months behind schedule, but notwithstanding, we're working, very, very seriously, building bridges and re-establishing trust. And we know people run towards good leadership. And so our first and foremost objective is to demonstrate to our people and earn their trust and respect. And so we are doing all we can. Hopefully, the fruits will soon begin to show. So thank you again for tonight. I think tonight was one of those avenues we intend to use to reach out to our people and explain to them what it is we're doing. And also, of course, solicit ideas on how best we can make that dream happen. But Liberia is a country in trouble. It will use a lot of help from all, regions of the world, including those of us here. We can't do that if we're not united, if we're not working together. So we need to first um, establish that unity, that collective togetherness, and channel our resources to help the country.
Okay, guys, let's get our regular edition. We intend not to relegate. I think the conversation went well. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners. This is the last and final segment in tonight's editions of All Things Considered. A lot is happening. Limiot, good to have you here. Mr. Slangart, good evening. Good to have you here as well. Moses Dennis, thank you so much. Sla. Okay, let's get a conversation. This is All Things Considered. Let me go to the birthday guide. I'm going to be very, very nice to him, but it's not guaranteed. It's not going to be like a scripture. So, you're going to say, depending how you're going to reciprocate. Yeah, but something very unusual is happening on this network here tonight, and I'm wondering. My body is itching. Something telling
So
me.
is that an admission that you haven't really been nice to my friend and brother? You say only tonight you will be nice.
It's because, Mr. Nambe, there is a big conspiracy being facilitated by the liberal wing on this network, and some big.
The deep state is available here.
Why somebody keep going off?
And where did he go?
Why the liberal went off? What do you think is happening, Terry?
My internet giving me a little problem here and there.
The liberal internet was housed at the former CDC headquarters, but now they're homeless, so he ain't get no place now where the internet connectivity is.
The internet is homeless.
Yeah, Father God, how do you call this one? If you not know, you not know. If you know, you will. Yeah. Okay, guys, let's see. All things considered. Terry, let's start with you. What's in your folder this evening?
Well, I thought I come and then go by the callings again.
Oh,
my brother, Mr. Lambe, you see how they make a treat us on this show, right? They may want to put me and Collins here together. I don't want to argue with the resident bishop. Bishop, go ahead. I will see to you.
One of our part to all. He can't dressing
today your birthday,
yeah, we'll be good. We'll be nice to you. Okay, look, say too much is ongoing. But tell her how you spend your day, man. How was
it? We joke around a lot, but today has been humbling. There's a lot of things we do, and that's why I liked that this happened with what ULLA was saying, that we have a lot to offer. There are people who have been reaching out to me, I don't know, for anywhere. They see me on this platform and on LBS and other places. People have been writing tributes about me and my skill set. And I have to reread it and say, wait, they put talking about, I don't believe, half the time what they're writing is like, I don't think that about myself. That speaks volume, that what we do here, we might think is little, but it goes a long way. And what we do in our little corners, there are people watching, there are people that benefit from it. So today, has been humbling. It's allowed me to think differently about the things I say. Not that I haven't been thinking critically, but to be even more critical about what I say and how I say it. Because I mean, there are people in my inbox, I'm not even friends with them, and they will start out writing sometimes 2 paragraphs about what they think about me and what the things I have said and what it means to them. And the 90% of the folks have been about my tenacity when it comes to talking about education and the need for quality education in Liberia. So I just want to say it has been an honor. We joke around a lot, but it's been a serious blessing to read from people that I don't know from anywhere. Poor boy from Slower Town that used to walk to go RC Lawson, living in an outside room in a zinc shack, used to sell gas in a mayonnaise jar, hustler to get to this level and people can respect. It has to be God and it has to be the ancestor. So I'm joking around, but I've been really excited because some of those things humble you. They really tell you where you've come. Now, having said that, fighting can move in my spirit. I am still.
Wait. Market can't lead a blind hand beyond. You finish all the good thing he told we say, but Mr. Number, you see, this is how I operate with these guys.
You know,
Fighting can more from him. Go ahead, left way.
And the funny thing, my wife bought me a whole birthday suit. Mr. Stu, you're supposed to be here to see the suit. A whole suit. People that can say, "I bro, I can't spend money. Y'all can't live in my hall." But my issue is still with the LIS, Liberian Immigration Service. Now I'm even digging deeper into whether the commissioner has declared his assets, the former senator and lawyer, now commissioner, because if he hasn't declared his asset and they're not following public procurement laws in assigning or signing contract to people to do the medical portion of the evaluation of people who we're recruiting, that just smells and reeks of corruption and lack of transparency. So we're digging deeper. We're not letting it go. This is going to be like the Zanzibar Kawa and NCSS issue. We're going to dig through it until we get to the end of it.
Okay, to the end of it. Mr. Collins.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the show again. It was a nice time hosting your people from here, ULLA, and all that. But my concern has to do with, again, to Sissy, senior brother, happy birthday. I hope you enjoy your day with some glowy, even though and thing. But yeah, but so actually, my attention is due to the information that I don't know how to call him. I don't want to call him Deputy Information Minister because his attitude today displayed gross disrespect to the former president. I thought that he did not really come like a real. Yesterday when he spoke, I thought he was doing the bidding of LPR, which I think was very unprofessional from the end of the government, trying to undermine and denigrate the letter that was written to the former president, inviting him to stand as a speaker to do a 1-minute message, for the Liberian to support Liberia, solicit a seat, on the international scale. I know the Security Council or what, but I think that his approach was not appropriate. I believe that if President Boka is serious to really reprimand his cabinet, he should take a step in reprimanding Daniel Sano, because his approach was very demeaning. I think he did not approach the former president with respect. And we must understand that President Weah and President Sirleaf, they are 2 presidents former. I don't know, the Unity Party cannot come to terms to agree that President Weah was the president. They have not really come to terms yet to understand that this man was a president. They don't want to receive him, to respect him and give him the honor that. And respecting him does not take anything away from you. You have beaten this man to the pool massively. All his face was swollen up and all of that. And you won the elections all you need to do is to rule responsibly and approach the leadership with respect. Because let me tell you something, whether you like it or not, these two presidents, former president, can cause chaos in your country. The two of them, they can cause chaos because they got following. So the best thing I believe is a legacy for President for President Boka, because you have two presidents after post-war Liberia honor him, and he's leading them. That's a great privilege. I think if you work with these two people, he can really have a peaceful leadership, and he can do very well. In as much as I disagree with President Weah leadership and I have zero problem with it, but in order for President Boka to be successful, he needs to extend hand of a reconciliation to President Weah, and they need to have a time wherein they can even have a retreat for once every year. But I think the approach of his cabinet towards that particular invite, which I think from the Foreign Affairs Ministry, but that lady is a patriotic lady, and she's she did the right thing to rep President Weah. And I don't want people saw there was a post on social media where they saw President Boka kneeling down to beg President Weah. So Unity Party people felt they felt that something have happened to them. You are president, you leading the country. You think people will not play fun out of you to get under your skin? That way you will go do that post you will go make and
but they can't even tell the difference between Photoshop and craziness.
I don't understand. So that because of that late post now you will go and say, oh, the president, the invite will not. Anyway, I won't continue members or so because the time other people got to speak. But that is what it is. I thought that was disrespectful to the former president.
Okay. The Liberal Progressive.
Yeah.
Let's hear you. What's in your folder?
Well, I want to thank you for doing a masterful job again this evening. As a true journalist, you really show again that you are the best and about the most wonderful CEO on the platform that we all like, and there is nothing in behind you, nothing to.
Y'all please stop. Somebody call 911 and check on the Liberal. What happening?
See, is this thing being recorded?
Yeah, I wait. Is this a hostage situation? The Liberal jet, you can write help on a low paper and show on the side. If you knew us, are you being held hostage somewhere?
He's not in Rhode Island. I think he's speaking his guts. Can we listen to him, please?
No, because after you accepted bribes of beer and stuff, now the Liberal is speaking like this. The Liberal, they're holding somewhere. Just put one finger up as he's speaking. Trust time will call 911.
So I just want to say thank you very much for that wonderful job. With respect to Liberia, there was a guy today we have on ELBC or ELBS, whatever they call himself. And this guy, so president.
Carry on, be with you guys in 2 seconds.
Yeah. This guy was the president. He is the president of the Liberian Business Association. And the guy was so. He's not just the president. From my perspective, he's like an activist turned president. He blamed the foreigners, the Lebanese, and some member of the government as a cartel that are stopping Liberian businesses from growing. He accused them of saying when the Liberian businessmen go to the bank to borrow, the Lebanese man who also having to be bidding for that same project will go to the bank and tell the bank manager that this man will not pay you back. He doesn't have the capacity. And the Lebanese man, the fact that he has so much money in the bank will listen to him. So he said, if you as a Liberian businessman go to the bank and you want 10,000 or 15,000, they say we can only give you 3,000. But because you have a business that you want to run, you will accept the 3,000 with the huge, interest. He called them cartel. But that come March of next year, they will have a symposium with the president of the Republic of Liberia. And this guy traveled with the president to Ghana, to Malaysia, and I believe he went with them to China as well. And for him to talk the way he was talking this evening, it's very interesting, very interesting. And that the Liberian ministers and government ministers that will get these contracts, instead of impacting Liberian contractor, they will rather give it to foreigner, and then they give little bit, if any, to Liberian businesses. And that is something that he said we're not doing business as usual. But my feeling on that, as we were concluding, I didn't have the opportunity to express it because the way the show went today was a little bit different. But my feeling on that is that I think before long, you will see somebody from their organization. They will put something on him that they most likely going to have to remove him, or suspend him or something. Because if these people are truly cartel, they will pay somebody, give somebody money within the organization to remove this young man. Because if this man stayed within the next 6 years and make the kind of noise that he's continued to make, I think Liberian businesses will be really up to par. And that's what I observed today. And hopefully tomorrow we will. They said they're gonna have the Minister of Public Works gonna be the guest tomorrow, and I will share that on. I will share the program with Liberia Public Radio audience, so that they will listen. But I'm a little bit conflicted here, as tomorrow is getting closer. So whether, because I know who the minister is, he's not an engineer. Do I go asking him technical question, engineering technical question, as though I want to do I got you stuff deal, or do I just stay with policy and continue to say you need help? People are here to help you and some. So I'm a little bit, but by tomorrow, before the end of the night, I will come to a conclusion as to what I want to do. But it's going to be a little bit challenging because I don't want to come across as somebody who wants to embarrass someone, or come across somebody who's seeking somebody else's position, which is not the case. So those are the things that I'm facing as well.
Mr. So, before you come in, the Libra, I think what you have to do tomorrow is not sell the making that you were selling the other day.
The one you put saying Margari.
The one I put saying in the milk in it.
I felt bad for them, Sissy, to be honest with you. I felt bad.
I felt bad for the Liberian people that these people are serving.
Yeah.
If you show up on a show and we're asking you are the spokesperson for the Liberian Immigration Service, and you put up, you need 500 people and you got 9,000 people, you say, we'll tell everybody the balance one will go sit down, and we say how you determine what the balance, and you can't tell how you determine the balance, and you want us to move on. No, we'll have that conversation, and you want to blame on the government. We're not blaming the government. You have a lack of understanding of how to run any entity. We have to tell them. And I think at some point we have to tell the government on their own platform where they're going wrong. So I think tomorrow, that is your wheelhouse. I will try my best to be on that show. You don't ask the critical question, oh, I'm going to come on. And it is not about embarrassing them, but it is to show to the Liberian people, is this the best we have? And if it is, show to the Liberian people. If it is not, be like my papa professor, as they say, and leave. And let put somebody else there.
Sister, you're right. If anything, sneak that link to me too. You see, the liberal, these are the people that have problem in our society.
I just praise you. Let's keep it like that.
No. There are more things you still have to talk. Okay, let's come to Mr. Nangwe. Mr. Nangwe, let's go on your belt. What do you have?
Well, I mean, I agree with the issues put on the table by the liberal Sissy, but I especially agree with Terry. I'm confused over this whole, non-permanent seat on the UN, and how Liberia is going after it. I'm really confused. I really thought the government did a very good thing by reaching out to the past presidents and ask them to help. You know, and how this quickly turned into a political football is really is sad. I mean, it just tells you, the kind of atmosphere that exists today in the country. You know, the CDC people are making a big thing out of it. The U people are making a big thing out of it. At the end of it, you know, Liberia loses. You know, so I hope that the big boys in the room, will rise to the occasion and tell their boys to quell down, to settle down. You know, I heard Sano is a deputy minister, for Christ's sake. He's not a kid anymore at the Atai shop. He's still acting like a little kid in the streets. You asked the president for his help. If it wasn't important, you would have asked. What is all this about? His thought or whatever is not more weighty than other. Who cares about weights? We're talking about statesmanship. We're talking about elevating Liberia. And this is a man who conceded peacefully, even before the election results were announced. You got to get a man his courtesy and give him his respect. So I was really and I really hope that the UP people will step up and bring the adults to the forefront and let the kids go in the back room and sit there for a minute. So I'm glad Tara put that on the table. The issue that is also uppermost on my mind is this whole LD saga. It's taking the president way too long, in my opinion. Yeah, he may be reflective, he may be careful on decision making, but the problem with that is that our young people are suffering. The drugs are taking over the country. I heard there was another consignment in the country. It's almost like every month there's some kind of drug thing going on, and yet the president finds it, I don't want to say luxury, believes he has the luxury of reflecting for 3-4 months on who should lead our fight against the infiltration and proliferation of drugs in our streets and not in our schools. I understand the high school and elementary schools now are becoming, the battleground for these people. When is the president going to make a decision? What does that say about our priorities? So I understand the report has been on his desk for a couple of months now. I think he's on his way to Canada to this investment forum. I'm really hoping that he makes a decision before he leaves. We need to act. Yes, we would have acted yesterday. I don't think we have that luxury of waiting. So I'm urging this president to please take into consideration our young people who are suffering, who have been burdened by this drug problem. We need to do something about it, and we must. We don't have the luxury of waiting, 4-5 months before we can make a decision. So I hope the president is going to make a decision and make it soon.
Make it soon is relative. Who was the big boy in the room now? Those are things that we found on yesterday. Everybody put themselves in a position to be a sort of loyalist to then President and George Weah, and we saw people were speaking from left, right, city corporations and whatever, and we didn't even know who was serving as a real spokesperson of the government when it should be the Minister of Information. Are you surprised of Sandra Johnson? Sandra Johnson took the microphone to a convicted felon then at the time at a correction facility, and when there's a complete surrenders the government media house, nothing was dead. Should somebody be held accountable, or should Sandra Johnson come out to apologize? I don't know whether he has done that. I haven't seen his Facebook page. Maybe there's something out there. Is that something? there should be a deterrent for this kind of thing. People don't understand how government works and who speaks for government. Every dick and tone feel they are connected, and everything they want to prove their loyalty to administration to be seen as the face, or we were the campaigners, and we cannot allow it to go. People leaving their sections and they speak publicly as if they are being authorized or they get a consent of the president. Is this in isolation or is just run? They are just running ahead of the shadow here. Terry, you started this.
Yeah, I think Sandra Johnson, if I were the president, again, I doubt that President Booker would do anything about that. Sandra Johnson will be suspended. I think Sandra Johnson is misplaced for the statement he made today. And what is most scary, he made a follow up by going on spoon talk and make it worse. All right. Instead of him keeping quiet, today he went on spoon talk and made it worse. You know, he undermined the invite by the foreign affairs minister to the former president because of the statements that he made. That the president, that what Mr. Victor just said, that the president is not relevant, and it doesn't matter. That means you undermining,
what do you think his understanding when he said what he threw out there to a former president, regardless of our political differences and whatever disagreement they have? Why do you think for such a sort of public proclamation to say that he doesn't know the connotation, the context in which he was saying, and how people will kind of like interpret it, or what?
Yeah, that's it. He didn't know how people will interpret, because you see, these guys have never been to that position before, so they don't understand that everything they say is what the opposition is looking for to feed on to use against you. Because anything you say now is a headline for the newspaper in the next morning. He thinks that he's still how you call it, in campaign mood. He campaigning, he opposition and all of that. You don't know that when you are a government official and working in that kind of sensitive position, the media the presidential, that is the government right there. Every activities of the government, you are the spokesman for the government. So anything you say, everybody depending on that particular message. So he don't understand the magnanimity. He don't understand the magnitude of that particular department that he found himself. So as a result, he jeopardizes the process that's supposed to help our government to propel us to a level wherein on the democratic scale, Liberia will be looked at to be a country improving from the post-war era. So he don't understand it. He just see it to be a common thing. And, we talking that president, we are man, the man know anything, the man this, the man that, he's not going to say anything anyhow, because that have been the campaign slogan or the campaign speech every time. But I think that if President Walker he really mean business, especially to reconcile the country, if he really mean business to reconcile the country, President Walker will take action on him, because that statement he made, undermine the letter of invite, and that's my concern.
So,
if I mean, since you were coming, I know your birthday boy, you should have every opportunity to enjoy yourself here. But I just wanted to quickly tack on to Terry. The apparently, I'm assuming that with Jeremic Pia not saying this, I think he's leaving room for plausible deniability. I wouldn't have said it the way it sounded this. So, but the problem is, what are they going to do about it? Like Terry is saying, you invited these people to come and help you, and then you turn around and you start to bash them. I mean, how childish is that? So, as this is coming, I hope the government will really step up. When these kind of things happen, there must be consequences. Mo Ali, for instance, is not the spokesperson for the government. He shouldn't be writing on what the government is doing in China, and then nothing is done about it. Mixed messaging. Because when you do that, the real message gets lost in the shuffle. So I hope the Ministry of Information and the Ministry of Proper will say something about it, because the foreign minister really did a good thing, and now that is being blunted by this irresponsible statement that this gentleman made and then follow that up and double down on it, the campaign is over.
Right.
You have to govern. And when you're governing, you're not governing UP, you're governing the Republic of Liberia. It's the government that belongs to all of us. This is a UP-led government, but it is the government of the Republic of Liberia. Everybody reserves the right to be a part of it, as President Weah, former President Weah. So I hope they realize this, and get to the business of doing the people's job.
Mr. Goya, let me just bring you in. I know you brought in your talking point, but the question now becomes, what is a disconnect here? Why? What is people not still understanding, especially when it comes from the GOL side? The season of election is being gone. They did a good job, run a very massive campaign. Message resonated with the voter. Their concentration now is how to help the president to deliver. But apparently, they are going down the slope now, like we saw happening. CDC and Mr. Nangbe is right. I saw more the other day too was calling, hey, handles the water and sewer issue within the 15 political whatever subdivisions in the country. Do what you're supposed to do. Leave any fixing that state damage control with the Ministry of Information or presidential or foreign affairs. Mr. Goya, where is the disconnect? What these people need to understand in as people that are governing, they are leaders. What is lacking?
This is why experience matters. And for my brothers from the Sycamore tree that no longer exist, that usually use experience in governance as a bad thing, the old man being in government for 45 years like a bad thing. This is why experience matters. Because if you have people who have served in government for a while in this role, like Kerry is talking about, people are coming for a campaign role and they get rolled into governance and they don't understand the nuances of how you communicate in a administration versus in a political field. In a political theater is different. When you are campaigning, the way you communicate is quite different than when you are now leading. And this is why it's important that we keep people in key places of government so that they build their experience, right? And so, look, you want me to be brutally honest? The whole ping pong table tennis game that the Unity Party and CDC playing with the brand people, now 7-1, now 7-2, it got to stop. The two political parties have told us that they're not ready. The CDC is today my birthday. I will not say anything. I will ask Kamala Harris and I will swallow that.
Today's a birthday. Keep it PG-13.
The Unity Party is following suit. Look, this was a simple thing. We as a nation, regardless of our political ideologies, we are seeking a seat at the United Nations. We need all of our heavyweights on board. Even if Dr. George Manuel Weah had not been president, we would have used him because he was once world best. He has some international attraction,
right,
that we would have brought. And so I think we fell in this childish tit for tat. During this, there are people in the Unity Party that have not forgotten how people talked down to President Boakai when he was vice president during the last administration. Oh, we paying the man. He asked him for job. We gave him money for a man burial. We sending him for this. And so they feel the need to pay back, which is asinine, which is, that's not where government is supposed to be. The Liberian people saw that and they handed you governance. You have to walk away from tit for tat. And if you reach out to the president, the former president, and this is what people forget in Liberia. That's one thing I told people. I never liked Madame Salif personally, but by God, I respected the presidency that she occupied. And when I went from here representing ULLA in Minnesota, I had to put away my personal feelings and respected the office of the president when I met with her. Same thing with President George Weah. I respect the office that he occupied. I don't have to like him personally, but by God, I have to respect the office. And so the problem that we have is we have been unable to distinguish between somebody and the office. There are people in the CDC, like happens in every organization, whether political or not, that would take every little thing and run with it. I saw that thing on front page. Somebody put it in my inbox. I just pop out it. If Joseph Boakai needing down and begging George Weah, fine. Fine. If you have to beg George Weah for a seat at the United Nations that's going to benefit us all, including George Weah and his followers, by God, beg George Weah. President Boakai said he would dance with the devil if that meant getting into office to change the life of the Liberian people. George Weah is way better than the devil the last time I checked. And so I think it is this thing where people run on CDC to put things up, and then the government feel that they have to come and respond. And now because you did this, now we will take it back, and now we'll talk down to the president. This thing about talking down to our leaders, we have to stop it. We have to stop it. And it's not just the presidency. There are people who have served our country in so many capacities that are older now, and we talk down to them. We disrespect their service. We don't even acknowledge what they've done. You went to elections with George Weah, he defeated you. That meant there were more Liberians who respected his view, his ideology, and they trusted his leadership. And then you went back for an uncle and you got elected. That means people are thinking that you could do better. That doesn't mean that George Weah is less than you. I don't understand this thing where people believe that when you collaborate, it means you are weak. In leadership, at least the way I lead my group, my team, is I collaborate. I might have blind spots. There are people who know more than me that I lead. I need to ask them to come on board. So I think Terry said a lot, and that I agree with, including Mr. Nangbe. I think this has to be a place where people who understand governance, we have to step up and start leading. But here's my one thing I would say, then I'll stop. This is all as a result of having a Ministry of Information. We need to get rid of that thing. If you have specialized communicators in these agencies, you have a spokesperson at Water and Sewer, you have a spokesperson at Foreign Affairs that understand the diplomatic nuances. That person would have been able to address that conversation, understanding diplomacy, and they would have addressed that in that frame of mind. By having people at the Ministry of Information that sometimes don't understand the nuances of what happens in these government agencies, sometimes they just speak without even checking with the people who lead those institutions to have a briefing on what we intend. That's why I think we should get rid of the Ministry of Information and just have press, public officials, public speakers, whatever name you want to give them, press leaders, whatever, at those various ministries that understand the workings of those various ministries, and they are specialized to speak on those issues.
You pinpoint a key word, breathing. That is very, very, very key. And nothing even wrong with it when you are confronted by the media and you say, hey, I have to double check and get back. But this is what our people don't do. The days of like Carton Carper and all of those people, before they speak, they make sure they understand the issue, because they're not just only speaking within their confines. Whatever you speak, it gets out there in the public, in the diplomatic cycle and all of that. And there are guidelines with the ministry, unless this of lately politics has been so divisive and people feel they are so loyal to their political godfathers, and so they do everything possibly they can to appease them by making ridiculous, reckless statements they have no business of saying. That is absurd. And I think somebody must be able to take that trumpet to blow the horn and say, hey, enough is enough. It has to stop. There are certain issues that are around the diplomatic corridor. Then you have the Minister of Foreign Affairs. That's why they have these different protocols, different people. Then the Minister of Information. That's why the people don't have Minister of Information here. It's their press secretary to the president. Short trust on it. Short trust makes it easy because you need to Understand the system. If you're not ready for it, do not stand before the microphone. The liberal progressive.
Yeah, I agree with it.
Hold on one second. You will agree with me, Jenna, in the next meeting, so you will flip on the other side. So you're being agree with me now in the meeting here. I'm not sure what's going on here tonight. But should someone be held accountable? Too much we're waving flag. This is what Malik Jones is saying. People need to go to jail. We need to hold people up. I think we need more better yala in our country. I'm not making reference to, I'm not talking about
But you acting like you acting like the Unity Party now. You finish winning. The Labour now surrender. Why is they beating the man? You can't lead the puppy. You can't lead the Labour.
I don't know why he surrender. Why he so submissive?
But you like the Unity Party, you win election, leave it in now. The Labour surrender. Leave it.
I wonder, do I have a day on this Labour? This Jerry, do you think
That
I have
liquor talk. That liquor talk. Where you get on me that liquor talk? Let me just tell you now. Bring it up. Bring it. That liquor talk. Everybody know that liquor talk. So where you coming to come home?
all right? Let me see what am I.
No.
Wait, so when you praise the man, liquor talk, you didn't read me there?
One
We
person.
are talking serious business. So let's keep it like that. Let's leave that other one to.
Why you don't want to? I want to talk. I want to seek a consultation.
No. You asked us beautiful question coming from a real journalist. Let me answer, if you don't mind. No, on a very serious note. Look, what is happening in Liberia? I think some of us predicted these things long time ago. To say the young Liberians, many of them highly educated, sophisticated to the higher level, and when they are put in this position, and sometimes no guardrails, so they feel that they can say and do anything they want. Some of them get stuck into the election campaign mode. They can't get out. Worst of all, that LU student politics in Liberia, it has badly infested our society. That if even if somebody come up that went through that rank and come out to speak on your behalf, you think say you are at war with someone else. So these are the kind of things that are affecting us. And I think the cabinet minister or the head of the cabinet, it doesn't necessarily have to be the president. The bigger boy in the room going to have to put these people deputy and whatever. And this is what I keep suggesting. You have to have ministers that are willing to bring people in. I call it speakers that will come and lecture these young people how to govern now that you are in power. Motivational speaker to come and tell these people how to behave now that you are in power. Liberia is now a farm. Your political opposition, they are also Liberians. And that's why on our ELBC web, the program, I've always stated this. We're not going to come here and bash former leaders or former political, whatever you want to call them. They are Liberian first before they became opposition. They are opposition. Some of them are opposition based on policy. They don't agree with you. And they have the right to do that. Now, why would you as a deputy minister, whatever deputy press minister, whatever it is, the minister of foreign affairs wrote the president and explained in her letter what exactly she was expecting from the president. CDC and CDC, they always like to put their foot in their mouth. What one you all know about that one there? Then because the people put up picture that led our president to kneel down. So what? Does that president look like somebody that will kneel down to George Weah? And you're going to come up and the people goad you to make that kind of statement. and you come out and make this statement. Oh, the president, if the former president, even if speaking, say it doesn't mean anything. If it doesn't mean anything, why your eyes skin? Mr. So, look, I'm not for the president coming to punish deputy minister. I'm not for that. I am for.
What are you for?
This is what I'm for. The cabinet minister, ahead of the cabinet ministers, the douanier, whatever they call them, they're the ones supposed to step up. Many of these people that are occupying the position, they need to be told and explain the process, the policy of each of the ministry. Don't see them come and chaba, they just talk. But when you go deep inside, they don't even understand their own position.
So wait a minute. You say you want to be in multiple places at the same time. You do not want to hold people accountable.
You're not going to put me in a box here tonight.
So
the liberal is not somebody you can put in a box.
Yeah, no, we're having a conversation. So who responsibility to orientate those people? Who does it fall on?
Okay.
Why would
Mr.
they?
Mr. So, it's the government. All of these people were employed. Some of them appointed by the president. I get it. But once you are a deputy, or once you are assisting, that means you have somebody above you. These people that are occupying these ministry, they have to take their job serious. So some of these ministers need to put their people together if it's weekly. Let's compare note. Who here to be truthful with us? Do you understand your position? Yes, explain your position to us. That person come and say blah blah blah. If it's not in right place, you bring that person to in line, so that all of you will be in according to the law or according to your position. The guy that spoke today, he still believes that he's a LU, because no normal human being who is now running the government and consider yourself a spokesperson for whatever entity you're speaking for will speak the way he did or will write the way he did. That's childish. And you don't need that. But because many of these people were the first soldier during the campaign, and they made it clear to the political leader to be recognized. They were fighting on the trenches. They were in the mud. So the political leader recognized them. And so they gave them jobs. But not knowing that these people perhaps might not even be able to perform. And I'm not in the business of telling the president, say, fire the president or do this or do that. No. Educate and let the person be redeemed. And Mr. So, I said redeem, if you don't know what I mean.
All right, Mr. Nambwe?
Thank God, my baby back. Thank you for telling him that. I see that liberal that I know. Don't let the man make you just surrender. Like,
what the man got me says, hey, you play after that, they play with me scatter.
They got a secret tips, and they say one cooking her.
What the man got, he play, they play with me scatter tonight. So please,
the man already threatened you from the beginning of the show. He said you come and do something. So yeah.
No, I think I've said my piece on this. I will pass it on to Mr. Collins. Maybe he wants to chime in.
Yeah, okay, let's tap into this whole I believe drugs issue here. Who picked up that point? Was that Cecil?
No, I brought that in.
Was the immigration piece.
Okay, let's the immigration. What's the problem with the immigration?
So the immigration, they are recruiting to fill their ranks. They need 500. They put out a call, and I think they got about 9,000 applicants. First thing, they were charging for people to apply, which was cost prohibitive. Now, according to the spokesperson for the LIS, they whittled that down to about 5,000 or thereabout. You still need 500. And now people have to pay $12.50 US to go through medical, to get medical clearance. According to her, they went to the government entities. They went to 14 military hospitals to conduct their medical stuff. And 14 medical hospital, which is a government entity, charged them $45,000 that they could not afford at LIS. And then they went to JFK, again, a military facility. And JFK charged $25 per applicant.
US dollar?
US dollars. These are all US dollars. And so they said that was too much. And so they went to an African Trading Corporation, a medical facility, according to them. And that facility charged them $12.50 that these candidates have to pay. Two things. First question that she wrestled with is, okay, fine, you need 500. You have way more than 500. What happens if you have 502 people qualified after all of the trainings? She said, oh, we take the 500, the two that balance to, we keep it when we need it. How do you determine what's the balance? You never explain how do you determine the balance. Oh, the balance with every people that we're not using yet, but how do you determine that? What is the mechanism? You siftering and how do you call it in fufu? How do you determine which part stay in the sifter to throw away, which one come down? She could not answer that. And I said, well, there reeks of a lack of transparency, because if I didn't get called and I made the final 502 list, I have all reason to say that you cheated me in the process, that you already are your people. But besides that, the part that also caught my attention was the fact that you went to two medical entities, government entities, and they charged you exorbitantly. And you decided to go private. Did you put out a request for bid, a public request for bidding, so other private medical institutions in the country, as is the PUCC requirement, to bid? They said no, they just went to their one group and they picked them. So my problem is Anthony Steve Zago, who is the commissioner of LIS, who is a lawyer, and who is a former senator. How dare you lead a law enforcement agency and thump your nose at the law? And then number two, I'm trying to figure out, has he even declared his asset? Because one of the reasons for the declaration of asset and this whole thing around public accountability is so that we make sure that you are not giving contracts and getting kickbacks. So this is where my problem is with the LIS, that number one, they did not plan this thing. They did not think through it thoroughly. They are flying the plane while building it, which is crazy. And number two, you have a lawyer, a former lawmaker, who is leading a law enforcement agency and thumping your nose at the law. That is disrespectful to the Liberian people.
He was a chairman of your party, right? Can you speak to that?
And my position was say at that time, which I still say, the intent. Yeah, let me give you a little bit of background on that as well. Since it's quite correct. In fact, the lady used some colorful language that day to say they based on the sympathies of our leaders. Sympathy what but that's besides the point. But here's what was happening. The how do you call it, GSA? Is that GSA? The people the people who supposed to be hiring people.
Yeah, CSA.
CSA. They told many of the agencies, including the immigration agency, to say we will retire certain amount of people at certain time. So the immigration new chief and his people didn't want to be caught not prepared. So they decided, okay, we know they're going to retire a certain amount. So we want 500. The intent of they trying to hire 500 to replace those who are going to be retired. Because their intent is to hire them before not lose ground on having the borders poised where people come in with no immigration officer and what have you. So my concern, my argument was, fine, all of the other stuff since it's just listed here, that's fine. But what was the intent? I thought the intent was something that we have to praise, to say they are trying to prepare themselves not to get caught flat-footed. So because of that, I say my argument then was, and they asked God a question: do you have the fund? No. I said the government of the Republic of Liberia need to provide funding for these people as soon as possible. Because the intent here is to make sure these are security apparatus group that are seeking the interest of the people of the Republic of Liberia, to make sure the border have people to mind them when these people or other people are retired. Some of them will be forcibly retire and what have you. That was my argument. So those are the two arguments that we had on the show.
I think now that the liberal said that, I just want to put a cap on that milk cannon he's setting and put enough saying inside. Because I told him on the show that intent versus impact. There's an impact. If you are leading an agency and the CSA has told you that they're going to be laying people off, that got nothing to do with how you plan. You knew you're going to go put people through medical examination. You knew that. So why didn't you plan for having people to bid on that so that you are transparent? You knew you were going to need 500 people. You knew you were going to get more than 500 people. This has nothing to do with budget. It has to do with just being smart enough to plan that, okay, if I get 500 people, how do we whittle it down? What is the process? What is the rubric we're going to use to say, this is the 500 we're going to go with? That got nothing to do with budget. That just got to do with people using their brains. And I said to that lady that she brought a blank slate to the Liberian people and they should be ashamed of themselves. That got nothing to do with budget. We have to hold people accountable.
So, says all this thing was on this what, state radio?
Oh yeah. You know me.
And State told the people. First he said, I'm gonna put sand in the liberal gallery. And then he said,
you?
Yeah. And then he said, I got a whole packed beach full of sand with me this evening.
I brought a beach full of sand to pour in out there, and I told the lady. And they, in fact, started asking, they said, we need people from LRS that are in leadership to call to clarify the thing, because the thing was crazy. You know me, Mr. So you know that part. So
Terry, and I know somebody's going to flip up here, but whatever. Now, is it now bringing into questioning these people that are occupying these positions? Then who does it about? Who should be held accountable? Who should we blame?
Here we go. He coming to the doorstep of the president now. Why is that?
The liberal, we are having a national conversation.
Okay, go ahead.
We want these people who understands government, how government works. Steve Zacko, right? Come on, Steve Zacko, he has occupied numerous positions. Former party chairman. Hey, he was your party chairman?
Liberty Party?
Is not your party?
I'm Liberty Party USA. I keep telling you this.
Party?
I'm Liberty Party USA.
No, seriously, Mr. Nambwe.
There is a line of demarcation here. There's Liberty Party that very different. I didn't know that.
Let me call you after this.
He tries to be politically correct because now, because I say that your party chairman, he doesn't want to be part of anything.
Right.
So now he joined the barricade. But look, on a serious note, Sissy, I don't think we can afford making these sort of mistakes in terms of the anticipations, the projections, what these people projected. That's not everything. That's not the president. But if the president fails to act, then we will call him out because those were the same very thing we frown on. We can have people to do all of these things. I do not know the details of what we're talking about, but I generally, some of these officials who just get up and just speak, the president has been very tolerant. You don't see him reacting. What I do know, observe, President Boyka operate like Bob Willie. You never see Bob Willie making noise. He just get his people. But when they start doing something and nothing is coming out, then one will feel whatever they are doing is one of the acquiescence of the president. Terry.
Yeah, Mr. So that is Liberia. I think politically, these guys are trying to get the people in. And that is how it is done. They make something to look convoluted so that they can bring in the people. Sissy is right. They're trying to bring in the people. That is a strategy. And we must understand that President Boca brought these people in because, you know, Steve Zago helped President Boca win the elections. And Steve Zago lost the senatorial election. So obviously, because he was on the divided LP, which is Labor Former Party or Labor Party, the Liberty Party, or you know, the breakaway session. I don't know how many divisions, but anyway, they won in Liberia, and you know, the other group of people who are now with Mr. Cummings, those are the ones, you understand, that your man Zago will follow. So the paper had to look for something. So most of these people, and Zago is smart. He knows exactly what he's doing, but they will not do it the right way because they have to put in the people. That is the system. You know, it's bad, but you can't do anything about it because for me, on the political side, that is what they will put a blind eye. And let me tell you, the immigration is a very lucrative area. They are very selective. In all government that I know, they do it the same way. They are very selective. It's about who know you. I wanted to join the immigration one time because my mother was in the immigration. She told me straight, she said, don't join the immigration.
Now your hair been making let you join the immigration.
But those boys, they are the one controlling the border areas. All the drugs you see coming.
They remember the ceasefire with that hole. I swear to God.
The thing are there. Oh man, you find eating your catering to you leave us more, but because myself my throat dry. So that how you looking? Those people are at the border. Everything that coming in the country, all those drugs that you see coming in the country, they got caught on it. So most of the thing for me, I don't want to talk because my mom, she was in the immigration for 30 years. She was working right at the airport. All those drugs that you see coming in the country, they got caught. Immigration, they don't even need to get paid from government. If you see some of the horses that they built in Liberia, you'll be thinking, how they manage to build a kind of horse when you're making $200? So that is the system in the country. That is what it is. You can't, you know, and President Boga, they know, but they're not going to do anything, you know, until you have the right kind of people in power.
Okay.
You can't get the result we require. But anyway, that is what it is.
I think it's 10:30. We got to wrap up. But I think I feel like touching something this evening before I go, man.
Please don't touch it. I will hold your phone. Don't touch it.
So, but then we gotta do something here publicly here. I want a liberal to speak. We can't just go to that. Liberal, you gotta say something.
Say what? Say what? What you got? What you got? You got nothing. A little to coming to come hold me to it. Yeah.
The man got doctor. It's doctor. It's not.
Exactly.
We have to check it in our lab.
He took a word.
I think that needs to form part of our audit. I think this is bordering on the same issue that we started preparing that audit report on.
So just send me a text. I gotta get this thing rolled out. I gotta get this thing rolled out.
Elvis, my man, make it come on and show. Can't talk about Jenna because Terry can still grow hair. You see the thing that hair, yeah, Terry. The thing that hair, Elvis, I hair. So
that man, yeah, almost touching it.
Before we go home here in our closing remarks, Mr. Nambi, the president will he be in Jersey as well? Mr. Nambi?
It's frozen.
I think he's frozen. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Nabi, are you hearing me? You got to unmute.
Your server is at the CDC headquarters of OCDC.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm listening to you.
I said my understanding the president will be in Jersey as well, right?
It's unclear yet. There seems to be a conflict. I think he's speaking on the 27th at the UN, and so we are about 2 hours 30 minutes away from New York. And so the logistics, we're doubtful, but we're leaving it open. We know the speaker is going to be here, and other government officials have confirmed they're going to be here. But we're still doubtful as the president himself is going to be here. They had told us that he was going to be here, but it's looking unlikely. But we'll see.
I'll try reaching out.
Can I ask a quick follow-up?
Minnesota, that what he need against Sister man, what is
Who?
Erasmus, right?
Erasmus Williams.
Yeah, I tried reaching out multiple times,
I
calls,
can,
because I know
I'll get him for you. It's okay.
I don't know. It's still because when I saw the post coming from him that the president was having a town hall meeting, I tried reaching out if we could.
Let's
I don't know.
Let's stop behind the scene. Mr. Namge,
Yes, sir.
I hope you folks are keeping in the forefront the most recent embarrassment with former Minister McGill coming and promising money and also promising to have ULA in the budget. Well, all of these people are lining up, and I hope you're mindful that if you're not careful, if it's not carefully choreographed, it might seem like you are out of in bed with the government. And then that takes away your ability to be seen as transparent. And the likes of Kofa, who I know he brought on this show here, but he has his own history in this country that is not so nice, and sitting on like Brent people on like Brent millions, that being cozied up with these people sometimes might put ULA in a
Is he
shaky.
coming?
He said the speaker is confirmed. So my thing is, I'm not holding you accountable to that. I'm just hoping that, with a new administration, that you'll learn from the old, and that you'll learn that people have different perspectives based on how you wine and dine with government officials. It's a good thing to appreciate our leaders when they come on these shows. By all means, they deserve the respect. But I'm just hoping that you guys are very mindful of how you navigate that.
Mm-hmm. No, good point. Yes, that we've had those discussions, and you're quite right. We're kind of walking the line very, very carefully. We do have a responsibility to hold the government responsible. We get that, but we also have a responsibility to collaborate where necessary. And so we think we're more effective if we sit across from the table and let our views known to the government, what we think some of the pitfalls are. But yes, you are right. The speaker does have his past here in this country. We understand that. We're looking to him, as just you indicated, we're looking to the office of the speaker. We do have, yes, we are aware of the past and all of that, but we're hoping that somehow in there we can find a way so that the country benefits. That's the line we're pushing. But yes, we are aware of what former Minister McGill and the brouhaha that followed that. We took lesson from that, and we've been very careful so that we don't compromise ourselves. But notwithstanding, making known very, very clearly, our views on some of the developments in the country.
Quickly, I'm a little curious here. The pledge by Minister Dent McGee, was that fulfilled? You're receiving the money by the ULLA guy?
As far as I am concerned, that money was not delivered as far as officially. I have spoken to former President Shehu Kamara about this. He assured me that that money was never delivered. Although there are reports that speak otherwise, but I take it Shehu and I were not just buddies in our government. We go back 40 or more years. We were in top high school together, so we kind of have a kind of respect for one another. So when he tells me that didn't happen, I'm inclined to believe him. We looked at the books. Look, we inherited a deficit of over $25,000 when we took over the reins of power at ULLA. I don't know if $100,000 was given. I would have seen it through the books. We haven't seen it yet. It's all I can say. Yes.
Even the membership dues that the man promised. I was the MC that night. Remember, I MC that event that night.
You did a very splendid job.
Yeah, so even the membership fee that people promised they couldn't pay.
You'd be shocked. We haven't seen a report from that inauguration.
Wow. All right, guys.
So it's a lot going on.
We want to cut it this evening to let it go. Terry, any final word?
Yeah. So to be honest with you, from my previous statement, I think that Sarah Bachelet Yanti did the right thing as a foreign affairs minister, knowing very well the international ramification and the relations, international relations, diplomacy. She decided to write the former president. It is only precise for Daniel Sando, along with information minister who do not have understanding about foreign relations, to allow the woman to do her job, interfering into her job by trying to use sarcastic remarks to intimidate and bully the former president. I think that was absurd, and it was totally a disrespect and a disregard for even the leadership of the professionalism of the office of the foreign affairs, which I think if I were President Boca, I will use some disciplinary measures to punish few people. You know, to the aspect of the drugs thing, I think it's a very, very important thing that we take a day on the show to talk about drugs, because the proliferation of drugs, there was Dr. Honorable Victor.
Why you can tell us the results of these vaccines and tests that you were exhibiting, showcasing here? I take vaccine and I take this one here. So why you, Mr. Nangwe? Why liberal? What you can tell us?
Vaccine from the CDC, you want result from that? It's all on the CDC website. You check on it. I can send it to you. I can send dossiers to you if that's what you want.
You mean the COVID test, or what are we
COVID
talking
test?
I'm not talking about. I say your drug test here that were administered.
But you said vaccine.
Okay.
Yeah.
The drug test and vaccine. But anyway, we're taking our vaccine, our drug vaccine. Don't worry about it. We're taking it. But
So we know.
So that thing disappear, and we know. But that's what we talk. That's what I'm talking about. We need to take a time, because to be honest, I really want to find out from Libra then, you know, from LBS.
Nothing out of the Libra.
I want to know from the celebrity, where are we with the drugs thing? Because we don't know.
So you join the people you call it a celebrity now?
Oh no, but my man, you celebrity. There only one celebrity here at Liberal.
Okay.
Unless you say he's celebrity now for.
No, I just want to make sure, because you said they put out on LBS, then you go to celebrity. So I just want to make sure.
Okay. Yeah, I want to ask you, because I only want how the
for 5 minutes now. He every night now he on it. Celebrity now. He went for 2. They call him the Liberal saying, he said, "Oh, okay, I was busy. I just doing my thing. I just go in there for 2 minutes. That 2 minutes now, every day they sit down on it. Every day."
But Mr. So that play that the public, at least you can make changes there. You can.
Why I can send a link to also to people.
The point want us to call.
I'll send you my cash app. Send me stuff. I'll send a link to you.
They don't want Mr. So to go cause trouble there.
Selling LBS. I had call show link now for cash app. Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
But yeah, Mr. So that's it. Thank you.
Yeah. Liberal, anything to say?
Well, thank you for the show tonight. It's a beautiful show.
Wow.
We will be here tomorrow as well. We will be here tomorrow with lots and lots of energy tomorrow to do our show.
So just to make sure and get this confirmation, the issue of other report is there now. Is that it, Mr. Chairman? Are you still? Says it. Ain't no up on the grab door with. Look, he's under my wing. He's there for
So y'all treated us like the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. People, the commissioner was just disagree and we just da.
Let me tell you, if you know how much the man sold you for? You know how much the man sold you for? You know even that. If I get it to you, you will not call me no more.
But he must have with me on LBS tomorrow. I will put it out on the LBS. I think in my closing though, I think since we started with ULLA, I think even though we had our own thing, I think it's appropriate to close with ULLA. I think ULA, like most organizations, suffers from historical trauma, historical hurt, unhealed hurt that happened not because of current administration, but current administration inherited that. And so people's perception of ULA, right or wrong, is deeply steeped in what had happened before or what they perceived to have happened before. And I think that does not serve us right as Liberians, and neither is that fair to ULA. Like I said, I know two people on there that was on the show today. I have my own disagreement with them. In the campaign, and after the campaign, and as vice chairman of OLM, I have my own reservations. But we have to be able to turn corners as Liberians. We can't just hold on to perceptions. So I think, like every other administration, I will hope that every Liberian can give this new ULA leadership a chance to show that they are the same ULA as the 1970s, or they're different and they're leading differently. So my plea out there to Liberians that are following us is that we need an umbrella organization. We all can do things in splinter. That's why I like Tier 1 Gonglo and I like our Bro movement, because it's a collection of stuff that is difficult to break. Yeah, we got 1%. We didn't have no house, so we're not worried to be homeless. The people had houses, they're homeless, and I didn't want struggling. Having said that, I think us in the US deserve an umbrella, and I think the best umbrella is ULA. I think the framework is there. It has to be revisited. I think we need to give them a chance. That is just my closing. And I hope ULA will not, the new administration will do good, will do better. We'll take it from what the Shewa administration was doing, take that vision and move it forward, because leadership is continuity. Let's keep looking forward. Wherever mistakes the last administration made, let's try to correct that. Wherever they have successes and strength, let's lean on them to help us push ULA forward. That will be my closing.
Okay, guys, we want to thank you so much, Mr. Nambit, the Liberal Progressive. Mr. Goya will say happy birthday, and I hope you enjoy your day today. Terry, I don't know why Terry didn't jump there to get something hot, because I know that house there, man. The food it's not late. It's just 9 o'clock in Minnesota, Terry. So go there and grab the stuff.
It smells like Springfield, Ohio, upstairs right now.
Okay, guys, have a pleasant evening. Well, with that said, the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Jose Newman Boyka, will be in the Ocean State of Rhode Island. LPR has been contacted to bring a live coverage at the Rhode Island Career Center, right in the heart of Providence, and we will be there. What is still unclear, because it's like a two functions, and I'm not sure facilitator or the sponsors, they yet to have a crystal clear to us as to whether there will be a questions and answer, because it is the Senator of Rhode Island, Senator Jack Reed. It was a garnish ceremony, which of course a lot of he's a higher ranking member of the Democrats, so we assume a lot of folks going to be here. And the president being a guest, I'm not sure whether it's appropriate to have program in program. So we are hoping the Liberian community, the Friends of Joseph Boyka group here, will also facilitate a process where the president will interact with the people. I think that would be the wise thing to do, because that would give Liberia a sense to ask their president and to hear it directly from the house's mouth. Also, don't forget ULA. That's the 27th weekend. ULA are going to be having a big event in what's the city? Which is the city in New Jersey? It's Atlanta City. I believe either Atlanta City. I will try to figure out. But you listen to the leaders here this evening. We're understanding the Speaker of the House of Representatives, that's the number third person in command of the country, Speaker J. Fanati Kofa, is expected to attend our program as well. We hope we'll catch up with him there and know what's going on as well. Until then, we will keep giving promotion on this. Let's take our last and final commercial break, and we will be signing off. Just in case you have an event to cover, reunion, anniversary, convention, honoring, a war, whatever it is, let us know, and we will give you that opportunity.
Hello everyone, my name is Poye, aka Diamond. I would like to share a little bit about someone incredibly special to me. My mother, Rose Johnson. My mother is the heart and soul of our family. Her love and unwavering support has shaped my siblings and I into the women we are today. She has taught us the value of kindness, resilience, and compassion. On October 26th, we will be gathering to honor and celebrating our mother's incredible journey and all the lives she has touched. We would be delighted if you can join us on this special occasion, which would be hosted at the Footloose Club in Cranston, Rhode Island. Your presence means the world to us. Thank you and God bless.
Okay, that's Dama, aka Poyet, will be honoring her mother right here on the 26th of October. And we have been asked to bring you that courage. And that's exactly what we do. We involve heavily in community engagement as well. So let us know. It doesn't matter wherever you are, whatever functions you want to make it memorable to record event for yourself, let us know. We will figure out a way. What a great interactions on the online here this evening. Is quite interesting. Mona is on fire. Tail Lion, Lancy, everybody. And for the most part, the conversation is always civil. Everybody expressing their view, their opinion, the passions of people that are support. I think that is good. It's civil. You know, sometimes people get over the edge, but it is why it is. I don't know what when I say laughs so when November starts, you will know. So what that mean? What happened in November? Give me the G's. Why is that an election you're talking about? Okay, guys, we want to thank you so much. Your comments, your tweet. For those of you that join us, we really, really appreciate your time. You always share with us here. You make us to learn a lot. New things. The interactions is quite interesting, and everybody's speaking their mind. And all we urge for civility on this network, and we can have our differences, political differences. It's another form of expressing our own desire, what we feel about our country, how we feel our country is being run by politicians, and everybody taking their position to defending and protecting their own alligators. This is an ongoing thing, and we will continue to see it happening over and over. What is important at the end of the day, we must find solutions to those problems. We must sit around the table. Insult, it doesn't yield anything. It doesn't produce any result. You know, so having this conversation in our passionate mind for the love of our country, I think that's a good thing to do. If this is the first time, we say thank you so much. Please drop your comments, your suggestion as to how we can enhance and improve the quality. If you desire to be a contributor or analyst on this network, the book is also open. You are more heartily welcome. Just get a thick skin like us. Don't take everything for granted. Don't let people get under your skin. Let us know and we'll bring you here. It doesn't matter which party or which group you represent. Your voice will be heard. That's the hallmark of this network. We intend not to leave no one behind. And that's not what we want to do. What on this note, we really went way over the time because we had a ULLA folks and then the analysts, they needed to come in. I want to thank you so much, Moya Togba. Thank you so much. It's better late than never jumping in. We also live via YouTube. You can follow us on LinkedIn and all of the major social media outlets, multiple ways to get us. quality is better than quantity. Until then, have a pleasant evening and beautiful weekend ahead of you. Bye-bye.
That's my desire. One now one day you swap. That's my desire. One children day you swap. Oh, you swap. And then go. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. This is not you swap. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, you will do this one. You will not deserve my trust. You. Oh my God.
Well, we say thank you very much, and that's how we're going to go to carrying down here this evening. Until then, this summit, I will see you in another edition. So, Summit Live with the Analysts right here on LPR.